The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formalware, Bozen the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good evening and welcome to Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side as we get set for the first round of the Class 5A football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio. It's Dowling Catholic hosting the Lions of Linn-Mar of Marion, what we think is the first meeting between the two teams. Alongside Matt Maindring and John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale. Welcome to Williams Stadium on a very cloudy, kind of a cool, damp day. We're drying out from the last couple days, and Matt Maindring, a lot has happened, but we have playoff football week one going on right now, at least in Class 5A. Welcome, Matt.
Yeah, Class 5A opens it up tonight. It's a lot of fun to get things going, and this Dowling Catholic team, after about 4 weeks, tonight was questionable. You know, was it going to break the streak of not making the playoffs and everything else? But they found a way to turn it around and have really excelled. And the last thing I'll say, going into this first piece here is, it's a good thing we're on turf tonight because it would be muddy otherwise.
It would. There's still a lot of grass fields out there. You know, you played on a lot of them in your day up there in Northwest Iowa, but no question about that. And of course, they have the playoff pairings came out, as we mentioned, last Saturday morning. And hats off to you, Mr. Maindring. You were right on it. You got to tweet it out there to everybody. Did somebody wake Casey Tickle up? I mean, she takes care of that. She takes care of the evening.
I don't think she sleeps. I mean, she's on. She is on that Maroon Crew thing nonstop.
Yeah, but you got that out. So the winner of this game, we already know, will play the winner of the Johnson Southeast Polk game, which is being played at Southeast Polk High School. All these games kick off in 5A tonight at 7 o'clock. So we know who the next opponent is, depending on who wins tonight in this pod. Pod 2 has Dubuque Senior at Cedar Rapids Kennedy. The winner will meet the Urbandale at City High game. We're going to keep an eye on that game also. We'll hope to get up scores from the Iowa City Urbandale game. Pod 3 has Ankeny Centennial at Valley, and we'll have reports from that game. And Cedar Falls at Pleasant Valley. The two winners will meet next Friday. And finally, in Pod 4 in Class 5A, Bettendorf is at Cedar Rapids Prairie, and Waukee Northwest at Ankeny. And we'll have reports, hopefully, from the Waukee Northwest Ankeny game. So that's a look at the 16 teams that we just mentioned made the playoffs. And, Matt, don't go back too far. Maroons start at 1-3, and they are looking like may not make the playoffs. And then they ran off 5 straight wins, including a win over a ranked Valley team, which is the number 3 seed right now in Class 5A. As we mentioned earlier, the Valley Tigers tonight at home at Valley Stadium. That's why Dowling is here at Williams Stadium. They're hosting Ankeny Centennial, and that was the game that propelled Dowling into the playoffs.
It was, and the return of Jackson Smolik, that really kind of turned things around from a standpoint. You see the momentum building, just the consistency of the offense reached a different spot when Jackson, and it's nothing against the other two quarterbacks. Just Jackson was the guy that had practiced there all, through all the preparation of getting ready for this year and through the fall season and camp, and he's got an electric arm, and he can throw that ball on a line, and really that has helped, and it has helped the offense gain some confidence. And I think that offensive line is the other piece that we don't talk about very much, but they've slowly grown and matured and are really starting to dominate other people and open up some creases and give Cam and Adam Townsend and this multi-headed offense, and really it is. You get 3 different running backs,
three different quarterbacks,
and
a bunch of receivers. But the offensive line stays the same.
It does.
So you have an easy job. I'm the one that has both tight ends and all that. Another guy on the crew tonight, and Johnny's not up here in the booth. I don't know why. It's so much warmer in here. But John Chido is down on the Dowling sideline, which is the west stands here at Williams Stadium. And I don't know if he's going through pregame with him or not. But Johnny, the wind hasn't stopped yet, so that breeze is going to be interesting. With we just looked at the game time temperature. It's 52 degrees, cloudy skies. Feels like temperature is 47 degrees, and northwest wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we know you're out there into that blustery condition.
Yeah, I want to get acclimated to the conditions instead of coming from that warm booth that you guys have the luxury of being in tonight. But you're absolutely right. The wind's going to be a factor tonight, and cold weather. Especially at the beginning, and you have to get used to the elements. Both teams will. So it'd be interesting to see how this wind plays a factor tonight.
Yeah, and then for the Maroons, they are, for the most part, injury-free with one exception, and that is Jake English. He's out with the leg injury, and he will not dress tonight. He'll be on the sidelines, and I think another player, Joe Reed, will not play tonight. But other than that, Maroons are relatively healthy, Johnny, and that's always good to see, especially when you want to try to make a second line change as far as your interior defense and offensive line when you can. That's going to help because this is a Linn-Mar team. The Lions come in, their record 7-2. They're ranked 10th, but they go 7 guys start that go 2 ways.
Yeah, that's going to make a difference too, and this is where the off-season workouts come into play. Allen Catholic, with the grind that they go through in the winter workouts for all athletes and stuff like that, that plays a factor because the conditioning is going to, especially when you have 7 guys going both ways. So hopefully Dowling's offensive line, like mentioned earlier, they're full strength. They have been all year, and they're finding their rhythm and wear guys down and running the football, and that's where it's going to all start tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, the rain will hold off. It'll just be the damp conditions. Thank goodness we are on field turf, as most of the games are around here. We want to mention our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Northwest Bank, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One here on our pregame show as we're live from Williams Stadium. They're going to kick it off at 7 o'clock. In our pregame show, we will have head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic High School. We'll also have folks from Linn-Mar of Marion joining our broadcast tonight. They're tuning in. They put the word out, so to speak. We want to thank their athletic director, Dave Brown, and all the people behind the scenes out there. I had a chance to visit with them and correspond with them throughout the week. And, of course, their head coach, Tim Lovell, in his first year after being the Marion high school coach, and his son graduated and played football at Marion, and he saw a couple of their games this year. One was on a Thursday night, so Tim was over there doing that. But he's in his first year at Linn-Mar of Marion, and the kind of the bigger school, but kind of an unusual deal. 5 years at Marion, and now the first-year head coach at Linn-Mar.
Yeah, it's always that those unique situations happen. We are, at Northwest Iowa, we're not used to those kind of uniques, as people are living next to districts and things like that. But he's done a good job with the program this year, and to get these kids elevated to this point, and to get them used to his style of football and everything else, and they've responded, and they've put together a string of games early, and got off to a great start, running to the buzzsaw, which we know as Southeast Polk, and then continued through the season, and then had the loss at Prairie going into the playoffs. But they are a good football team, and they will be. It'll be a good contest tonight. Yeah,
the Lions have played 3 teams that are ranked. They beat Pleasant Valley at Pleasant Valley in Week 3, 18-7. Now Pleasant Valley is a 6th seed in this 5A bracket, so to speak, the pods. And then they lost, as you mentioned, at Southeast Polk High School, 38-15 in Week 6. Then last week on senior night for Linn-Mar, they lost to Cedar Rapids Prairie, the 4 seed in this tournament, 36-20. So those are their two losses, and then the 1 win over Pleasant Valley. So strength of schedule, that's a lot to play in. That's why Dowling's the 8th seed. They had a much tougher strength of schedule than Linn-Mar, and that all comes to play when you're doing the RPI, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah. The one thing that we were talking about going in, you mentioned it a little bit early, is the number of guys that Linn-Mar has going both ways. And, it's one thing to have guys going both ways, but on game night, but during practice, that creates another level of you have to focus only on offense for a while, and then you only have to focus on defense for a while, where if you are truly platooned, as Dowling is, then you can your offense can go work and your defense can go work, and you aren't swapping kids out, and it makes your practice much more efficient.
It certainly does. John Schott, you know a little bit about this. The downfall of that, what Matt just talked about, is injury. You lose one guy, and he's playing 2 or 3 positions, and you look at a guy like Cam Gunther for Linn-Mar. He's their starting wide receiver, starting safety, and he also returns punts and kickoffs. You lose one guy, and that's 3 spots that are up for grabs.
Yeah, it sure is. It makes it very nerve-wracking because you got to be able to substitute, not like you guys said, for one position, but multiple positions, and that's sometimes it's hard to do, and because you count on and get comfortable with certain players. If they go down with injuries and they're playing multiple positions, it makes it really tough and difficult to try to figure things out.
That certainly does. Well, let's look at our keys tonight. Matt, I'm going to start with you, and we'll do the Linn-Mar offense against the Dowling defense. And I'm looking at this matchup here. You got Jalen Pettis for Dowling on the Dowling defensive line against Luke Gaffney. Luke is a 6'3", 245-pound left tackle and defensive tackle. He's a two-way starter for Linn-Mar. He wears number 70. That's going to be the matchup that I want to watch, but I also got to watch the ball. So I'm leaving it to you and John to watch that matchup. Luke Gaffney against Jalen Pettis. That'll be a wrestling match going on all night.
Yeah, I ran to Jalen in the hallway. It must have been Wednesday, and I talked to him a little bit. I said, "What do you got?" And number 70, he's the real deal. And Jalen said, "I'm gonna have my hands full." And I go, "Yeah, you are." And it will be a fun matchup between those two young men to see them go at it, and speed coming off the ball with Jalen, and it'll be. One of those things, a cat and mouse game. Do you start to move Jalen around a little bit and avoid Luke Gaffney? But it'll be a great matchup. The two strengths of the teams, and the one thing that Dowling has in that defensive front, as we've talked about all year, is the number of guys they rotate through, and that line is deep up front, and that creates a lot of challenges. But this McKay Jelenic for Linn-Mar, he's a very good athlete, and the 6', 205-pound senior has 1,100 yards on the year, 13 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He's had a real nice year, and the running back Carter Henderson, over 1,000 yards this year with 15 touchdowns and a 56-yard run. They are an offense that has had some very big plays throughout the year. And so for Dowling, it's to keep those things in front of them. Again, make sure that they have to grind something out the length of the field. You're going to see Linn-Mar is going to run this I formation quite a bit, more of a traditional football set. I formation, two receivers, and try to pound the ball at them. The fullback's going to take you to the ball, or on a lot of plays. And so it'll be interesting to see as things go up and how much Linn-Mar opens things up. All
right. And John Chida will give you the Dowling offense tonight, minus quarterback Jake English against the Linn-Mar defense. And they go into, and you saw this film, they're a 4-4 defensive team, and their defensive coordinator is their head coach, Tim Lovell. So that should be an interesting matchup. Your thoughts on that matchup, John?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting watching the defensive line for Linn-Mar. So when I was watching the film when they played Southeast Polk earlier in the year, Luke Gaffney, he's tough to block. Not only to play offense, you guys mentioned, he's their defensive tackle. And then number 35, Clayton Muzinski, is another tough defender on the outside linebacker spot. But you got to identify where they're at. I think you'll see Dowling come in and do a lot more look over to start with, where they'll look to the sideline and kind of look and see how they're set up, and they'll have two plays based on how they're set up and kind of attack Linn-Mar that way. Because when you go into the playoffs, you watch a bunch of film like that, and you kind of hope that that's the way they're going to line up, but you just don't know for sure, because this is where a lot of teams like to switch things up and kind of not be able to identify their coverages and things like that. So I think you'll see a lot of look over from Dowling's offense, where they'll look over the sideline, and Coach Wilson will have two plays, depending on they're lined up, and they'll call it in based on that formation.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. That's part of our pregame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring in the press box tonight. John Chido on the Dowling Catholic sideline. Again, welcome to our listeners from Linn-Mar of Marion that didn't make the trip over and that are streaming it or watching it on their iPhone. We appreciate having you with us tonight, and enjoy the broadcast. We're going to take a break. We will catch up with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic High School in our next segments. Here from Williams Stadium in Des Moines on a very chilly night, it's Dowling and Linn-Mar of Marion, first round of the 5A playoffs, coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale now joined by head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling Catholic. First round of the playoffs tonight, take on Linn-Mar of Marion. Coach, first of all, congratulations. That's always good news. You make the playoffs. And to be one of the top 8 seeds, you get a host. Congratulations on that, Coach.
Thank you very much.
What a year it's been. You start 1-3, you finish 5-0. You thought maybe we're not going to get in, and a lot of excitement the last few weeks. And you put on this great streak. The team did, and then the coaching staff, a lot of hard work to get to tonight, and you treasure every moment. And Linn-Mar is the opponent. I don't think Dowling's ever played Linn-Mar, even when they had their great runs. But that'd be a lot of emotion going through being in the playoffs.
Well, it's like I told our kids, you never take it for granted. And you're right, we were sitting there 1-3 and scuffling a little bit, but I have to give our kids an awful lot of credit. They really never wavered, and they just kept coming to work and had a good attitude. And they followed really what we were trying to tell them, and I think that has a lot to do with the leadership on the team and the kids themselves.
Well, opportunity to get through the first round and make it to the next one, and after that you're inside and playing in the Dome. But enough of that for now. Let's go back to last week, end of the regular season. You defeat Waukee 38-14 against one of your former students, who's now the head coach over there. Yeah, we'll do that here Gabe right Baker. before kickoff. We have more listeners. What a night it was. You got the running clock going in the second half. A lot of good things happen. I'm going to start with the defense because I think we talked too much about the offense now. They're scoring a lot of points, so they're always in the news. But how about some kid named Jalen Pettis in defensive line? We got him for 3 sacks, 5 tackle for losses, and he teamed up with one of I think it was one of the linemen right before the second series for Waukee. Had a tremendous night anchoring that defensive line.
Well, Jalen's had a fantastic year, and really, we've talked some that defense has been very consistent. I think it's led by the defensive line, and obviously Townsend and Hughes and Seymour have done a great job, and then in the back end, we've had some musical chairs back there at times, but Blake Anderson and Kellen Shimon doing a really good job back there for us. So we've been consistent on the defensive side all year, and really that takes a lot of pressure off of us offensively.
And the depth I think you've established, I think early in the year that we were kind of talking, hey, the defense has been out there more than the offense, and that's never good. And you're trying to win games, but you got guys like Peyton Johnson, who was injured last year, is now a backup. Mata Brua, we called his name. He had 3 tackles for loss against Waukee. And some guy named Hagan, he's part of the Hagan family that's coming here, and he's done a nice job this year. Long snapper, but we mentioned his name. You also developed some depth, whether you meant to or not, and that's really helping in some of these games.
Well, it absolutely is. And, you mentioned Peyton, and he was a linebacker, and as you said, he was hurt a year ago, and so, we're getting him experience. Mata's played very well of late, went through some health scares early in the year and kind of got a late start on things. And, Jimmy Wannick has been getting a little bit more time. Matthew Hanton in the secondary. So we have been able to get some depth going. And Ben Hugrich has gotten some quality reps as well. And really a lot of kids have done a nice job, and it's good to develop that depth as you go.
Well, offensively, now we will move to the offense. Can't slide him too much, but Jackson Smolik's really starting to find his rhythm after being out about 7 games. Started the fourth quarter, really, of the Valley game and continued last week. He was just on fire, as was Dante Cataldo when Dante came in. Quarterbacks getting to be more of, instead of, who's in the 3 deep, well, now who's the 2 guys out there, because you've really narrowed that down. It's really made your offense click. I think the offensive line feels that, too, with that leadership.
Well, they do, and Jackson has started to get into a groove and really doing what we've seen in practice for a long time now, and mixing in Dante in there as well, and I'm really proud of him. I think he's done an outstanding job, but really everybody on that offense has improved, and I don't want to overlook the contribution of Jake English, who's battling an injury now, but he held it together for us for quite a while and has been a phenomenal teammate with our kids through all of this. So really proud of him as well.
And not only throwing but also running. I mean, you got the 3-headed monster back there in the backfield. I know, Cam Middleton, and CJ, and now this Adam Townsend, who, here's a kid from who wasn't through the Catholic Football League. Matter of fact, we heard Coach Chido talk about that, and here he is, your third running back, come in there and get the job done when he's not playing linebacker and being one of your defensive captains. Townsend's
a great leader for us, and I think Van Veen calls him Martinsdale for a reason, and he's a great kid, but CJ and Cam have done a really nice job for us, and very unselfish, and it allows us to keep people fresh and just get the next man in.
Coach, before we start zeroing in on Linn-Mar and that team, any takeaways from last Friday's game? Obviously, a road game at Waukee, a team that obviously a school system that got split, so half the players at Northwest, the other half there. Your thoughts on your team and some of the JV kids that got a lot of playing time once again, which you always like. I know it builds a lot of depth. Some takeaways from the Waukee game.
Well, I thought some kids came in and did a really nice job. I knew they got a couple of scores late in there, and we really weren't. I don't want to say we weren't concerned about it, but we were more concerned about getting those kids experience. But it's always good to see a kid like Jack Moore come in and run the ball very hard. Hunter Crutchlow is a kid that does a lot of dirty work for our team, and he plays some fullback, plays a lot of special teams, but is very valuable. And as we get later into the year, you get a kid like Max Shelton or Joe Fralak that we bring up from the sophomore team, and they get in to get a couple of reps. And so it's always great to see those guys get their first experience at the varsity level.
Visiting with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's Class 5A playoff game. It's Dowling hosting Linn-Mar of Marion here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. The Maroons come in with a record of 6-3, and Linn-Mar comes in with a record of 7-2. We'll visit with Coach Wilson about tonight's opponent, the Linn-Mar Lions, when the pregame show continues. This is Mark Amadale here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. What great news for donors to the Catholic Tuition Organization. You now receive 75%. Yes, 75% of your donation back in Iowa tax credits beginning January 1st of this year. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. Best gift ever. Online, ctoiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
The pregame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale. Continuing my conversation with head coach Tom Wilson as the 5A Class 5A playoffs begin tonight. Dowling hosting Linn-Mar of Marion, the Lions, out of Marion, Iowa, ranked number 10 in Class 5A, a record of 7-2, taking on a 6-3 Dowling team, which comes in ranked 4th, but the 8th seed here at Williams Stadium. And coach, that all sounds good. It's the playoffs, the Maroons are in it, and you have an opponent, a team that I don't think Dowling's played, even back to the Greg Burnell days when they were winning state titles back in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't think Dowling's ever played Linn-Mar. You got any research that can back what I just set up?
Well, I don't, and I know I talked to Coach Williams this week, and he couldn't remember it. So, I don't recall it, and I know we haven't done it in the 17 years that I've been here. But happy to be in the playoffs. But we feel like we've got some work yet to be done, and we know we're going against a good football team, so it should be a great game.
Yeah, Linn-Mar comes in, as we mentioned, they're 7-2. They've won their first 5 games, including, I think I knocked off a top 10 ranked team during that time. Then they went 2-2 their last 4 games, including a loss during the regular season, their regular season finale last Friday night. So the first question I'm going to throw out to you is, what team does Linn-Mar remind you of around the CIML of some of the teams you've either played this year or played in the past?
I think you would have to go to an Indianola like we played last year with their approach, or if people can remember back in the Dome playing an Iowa City West or Cedar Rapids Kennedy type team, and there's not a lot of flash there. It's old school football, and They try to wear you down in the run game, and they get to that run a few different ways, whether it's with their tailback or a wildcat quarterback. But then they're going to take their shots downfield, and they've got personnel, and their stats certainly show that there's big playability there, and they'll take their shots at times. And so it's a good football team, and they've played good defense throughout the course of the year as well.
Well, offensively for Linn-Mar, their quarterback is McKay Jelinek. He's a senior, wears number 12, and he also is their punter, and as you mentioned, a left-footed punter. So they can do a lot with that, especially on special teams. They're one of the receivers, Cam Gunther, number 5, 6'1" senior, also their starting corner or safety. And then a tailback back there, Carter Henderson. He's their leading ball carrier, number 26. So those are some of the skills that we'll hear throughout the night on the radio. Your thoughts on the offense for Linn-Mar?
Yeah, I think they're going to certainly try to run that tailback. He has over 1,000 yards on the year. Really not flashy. He's not like one of the Valley kids or anything. And honestly, we compare him to Adam Townsend that we have on our team. So, tough downhill runner that's going to get tough yards. You mentioned Gunther, number 5. He's a really good athlete, and they're going to try to hit him on the deep ball, and he certainly has our attention. And Jelinek, as you mentioned, as their quarterback, has done a really nice job for them. He's not a big zone read guy, or they're not going to use him in the run game on design runs, but he can throw the ball fairly well.
And defensively, we're going to see a lot of these kids play both ways for Linn-Mar. You mentioned 7 or 8 kids could be two-way players, including their running back or fullback and linebacker. But they got a kid that's an all-stater who was a second-team all-state safety in Clayton Manuski, and he starts at safety for them. He'll wear number 35. So they got some kids on defense that'll turn around and go two ways. Yeah,
they're good players, and you hope that, with us going one way for the most part, that, we're able to wear them down. Really one of their top players is number 70, Gaffney, I believe it is, and he goes both ways, and he's a handful, really good wrestler. I think he's state place winner as a wrestler, and he's a good player.
All right, Coach. Well, what are some of the keys? This first time being over at Williams Stadium in a few years. Remember, a year ago we were in the COVID protocol. We're supposed to play Valley at Drake Stadium. That got postponed and canceled, actually. So first time over at Williams Stadium. And your thoughts? The rain should be ending by game time, but it's going to be a windy night. Your thoughts against this Linn-Mar team, the keys to Dowling?
Well, I think they'll try to milk the clock, to be honest with you. And so I think possessions are going to be precious. And we've seen that. Waukee was doing it some last week, and Valley was doing it the week before. And, we're going to have to take care of the football and stop their run and make them one-dimensional, and hopefully we win the line of scrimmage.
Coach, thanks for visiting with us tonight during the pregame show. Hope to catch up with you at halftime and during the postgame show. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Head Coach Tom Wilson is my guest here on the pregame show. It's Dowling and Linn-Mar of Marion, first round of the Class 5A playoffs. Matt Mandring, John Child will rejoin the program. When we return, the pregame show from Williams Stadium here in Des Moines, the Class 5A playoffs, here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Iowa Catholic Radio needs you, whether it's assisting with events, answering the phone, distributing yard signs, or being a parish ambassador. Iowa Catholic Radio depends on you to help connect listeners with Christ. Email contact@iowacatholicradio.com to get involved.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Stadium on Des Moines' east side for high school football playoffs here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. Welcome. I want to welcome the fans from Linn-Mar of Marion that are listening out in northeast Cedar Rapids area. John Chidle's on the Dowling sideline. We're going to go right to the kickoff here as Linn-Mar won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they'll be kicking with the wind, north to south. They will be defending the north end zone. Dowling will be going into the wind. John Chidle, give us a report as we head to kickoff here.
Well, playoffs are finally here, Mark and Matt, and it's amazing how fast the season went, and it's exciting atmosphere. Dowling's fans showed up here. The kids are already involved into it. It's that playoff atmosphere, which is nice to see, and ready to play some football.
Absolutely. Well, we're set as Baumhoffner will kick off, and he does. It's a line drive kick, and it'll be fielded by Carson Brown at the 2 for Dowling. Right to left in front of us, across the 20, 25, and he's wrapped up at the 30 and carries a tackle up to the 32-yard line. That's where Dowling will start, Matt Maindring, 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line.
Good return. Carson Brown right up the middle and gives the offense a decent starting position out at the 31. And now we start that cat and mouse games as you have two teams that haven't faced each other in a long, maybe never. And
as far as we know, yes.
Yeah, and line up and see how they're going to react defensively and offensively.
Well, first down, they'll call it the 31-yard line where Brown was down. As Jackson Smolik gets to start at quarterback. He throws on first down. The pass is a quick toss to the inside, caught from the left side, and a quick hitter that time to the tight end, Jalen Thompson.
Jalen Thompson, getting him involved early is a big thing because as we were talking about just a little bit ago, Cooper Nicholson and Carson Brown have caught way over, probably 2/3 of the passes,
right,
if not more. And Jalen Thompson's third leading receiver, important to get him involved early.
All right, there's a check with me now. As Dowling likes to snap the ball quickly as the play clock down to 15, and now they're doing a check with me. Kyle Rockers, Cade Batterton, Ryan Badgenstoss, Gabe Carey, and George Nahouse, left tackle to right tackle, and the handoff right up the gut, it goes to the tailback, and that is Cam Middleton on his first carries across the 40. And let's see, they're going to spot him down right at or near the 40-yard line.
Bottom of the pile there, we got Watts on the stop. I got to figure out which one now. Remember, we got two of them. So we got. It looked like it was Mac Watts on that play to begin with there, stopping Cam Middleton a yard short.
All right, it's 3rd and 1. Maroons on their own 40. They have to get their own 41. Pistol formation. Jackson Smoling's a quarterback. He's a junior. They give up the middle and hit. And second effort and through, and that is Cam Middleton in the secondary. Breaks through at the 40. Down the near sideline he goes and finally wrapped up at the 20-yard line. A nice individual effort that time by Jack Robertson, who may have saved a touchdown for Linn-Mar.
He did save the touchdown. Cam Middleton got stuck right at the line of scrimmage. It looked like he wasn't going to make it, and then he just keeps those legs going. He has such great balance, and he's not going to break off a lot of 80-yard runs and things like that. But he kept his legs churning, got through that line of scrimmage, and we thought he was down, and he kept his hand on the ground and bounced up and made a big play.
40-yard run for Dowling, and it's a first down Maroons, and they give it and keep it on the ground. Cam Middleton has it, takes ball carrier, takes the ball right over center down to the 15-yard line. It picks up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 Maroons as they're in the Bows and DeFlores red zone right now to start the contest.
Clayton Muzinski on the stop. The 200-pound senior came from his outside linebacker position, one of the leading tacklers for the Marion team.
All right, 2nd and 5, Dowling. Here's Smolik out of the shotgun. The give right up the gut to Middleton. Bounces outside. He's inside the 5, and he dives towards the goal line, but he's brought down at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Maroons on a 13-yard run by Cam Middleton.
Cam Middleton has just been, such that balance and strength going through the line of scrimmage right there. And this has been the Cam Middleton drive. We get a flag.
Officials are discussing. We'll see what this is. We got a face mask against Linn-Mar, and that'll put it half the distance to the goal. That'll be at the 1-yard line as the Maroons are in the Bows and DeFlores red zone. Say more with Bozen, 515-244-ROSE. That's 515-7673. Bozen makes the moment mean more. 1st and goal Maroons, and then it's a Wildcat to C.J. Phillip. He's got the ball, and he's diving towards the end zone. He's stacked up shy of the goal line inside the 1.
Yeah, from up here it looked like he was across. The Dowling came out in the Wildcat, got C.J. Phillip there to take the snap, and he went forward and just short. They got to be about in the 1-inch line here as Linn-Mar tries to, the Lions try to make a stand here at the goal line.
Yeah, the Maroons now getting their personnel in, their big personnel. Two tight ends in there, one on each side of the line. The quarterback is Dante Cataldo out of the pistol formation. He has a man in motion, and that's C.J. Phillip. Cataldo dives to the end zone. Touchdown. Dante over right guard and tackled as he followed Gabe Carey, the senior captain, into the end zone. Touchdown Maroons, and Dowling scoring on their first drive of the contest.
You know, when Cataldo comes in, the run threat is on, and they sent C.J. Phillip in motion to the right, and then the Cataldo delayed it and then followed, as you said, Gabe Carey over the right guard and into the end zone for the touchdown.
So Dowling takes the opening kickoff, and they go 69 yards on 8 plays. And now the extra point with Dante Cataldo in the hold, and Diego Leon with the extra point. It's good. Hagan on the snap, and it's 7-0 Dowling over Linn-Mar. 8:44 remaining first quarter. Back at Williams Stadium in Des Moines after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Do people who commit suicide automatically go to hell?
The death of a loved one through suicide is one of the toughest things for anyone to deal with. But fortunately, all is not necessarily lost. While it's true that suicide is listed under the grave list of sins, remember that 2 other things must happen at the time of the sin for it to be considered mortal. 1, the sin has to be fully consented to. 2, the person has to know that what they are doing is mortally wrong. We can never know exactly what a victim of suicide is going through, but depression or other mental illnesses can lead a person to do things he or she would not normally consider doing in their right mind. And if they're not fully in control of their thoughts or their actions, then God, in His perfect, infinite mercy, will know and judge them accordingly. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium on Des Moines' east side as the site of tonight's game between Dowling and Linn-Mar of Marion. Leon will kick off, and it's a pooch kick. It goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line of Linn-Mar, and Diego does that from time to time. They look to kick it into a certain area, and that time he kicked it out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 Linn-Mar from their own 35-yard line. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That's where our John Chido is at, and Johnny, what a drive to start with by the Maroons. 8 plays, 69 yards, capped off by backup quarterback Dante Cataldo on a 1-yard run.
Yeah, and so Dowling Catholic lined up there. They did the look over like we talked about in pregame, and they liked it out of that twins formation. And if Linn-Mar likes to do corners over, so that brings extra guys towards the twin side, gave Dowling the numbers. And then how about Cam Middleton with this extra effort running the football? Because I think Linn-Mar thought he was down and kind of quit on the play, but Cam did not give up, and he scored it down there for a big, huge run there for Dowling.
Yeah, he certainly did, Johnny. Thanks for that report as he had a couple big runs. And now Linn-Mar with a first down, and they give it to their outstanding tailback. He breaks tackles. It gets across the 40 up near the 44-yard line. Nice run that time by Carter Henderson.
Carter Henderson, you know, when you get out here and Linn-Mar's – we got someone down. Up to the 40-yard line.
It's a Dowling interior lineman that's down.
Is that Chase Patton? I believe that's Chase Patton, but he hobbled off here, so he's walked off under his own power.
It is Patton injured.
Chase Patton, but made it off the field. Anyway, going back to Linn-Mar here, Carter Henderson popped off a nice one. The offensive line made a nice crease there for him, and he shot forward for 8 yards. Big play.
Yeah, they're going to give him 9. It's 2nd and 1 Linn-Mar as their quarterback is McKay Jelinek. He works out of the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers, 1 in motion left to right. And here's a toss play right side. This is Carter Henderson trying to get outside the tackles. He does. He might go. He got toss play to the right. He's inside the 20. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Linn-Mar. Carter Henderson from 56 yards out.
And a well-designed play for the Lions there as they saw something. You know, that's one of those things when you get in these first 10 plays, these have been mapped out for a reason. They saw something in Dowling's defense. They get a kick out there, run off tackle, or we get swinging gate. We talked about this, one of those things you practice, and here we go.
And the extra point now by Micah Baumhoffner. And now they'll go back to the traditional. The holder will be T.J. Jackson. And the long snapper is Hayden Toms for Linn-Mar. Dowling leading 7-6, just under 8 minutes to play first quarter. Extra point now by Linn-Mar. And it's up, and it is good. We're tied at 7 here in the first round of the Class 4A football playoffs from Williams Stadium in Des Moines. It's Dowling 7, Linn-Mar 7 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say that we should stop opposing things like abortion and homosexual unions because there's simply nothing we can do about it? You can't prevent that stuff, it's inevitable, so just accept it. Well, G.K. Chesterton says the other word for inevitability is impenitence. We have let ourselves be dominated by the notion that there's no turning back. This idea is rooted in materialism and the denial of free will. Now, this modern refusal to undo what has been done is not only an intellectual fault, it is a moral fault also. It is not merely our mental inability to understand the mistake we have made, it's also our spiritual refusal to admit that we have made a mistake. Want more than a minute? Chesterton.org.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium. Here's the kickoff. Carson Brown from the goal line. He's got it across the 20. He has it at 30. Down the far sideline, 40. He's at midfield and finally tripped up on the far sideline right in front of the Linn-Mar bench at the Linn-Mar 43-yard line. Nice return that time, but 57 yards by Dowling's Carson Brown, who is a regular receiver throughout the night, and he's had a pretty good kickoff return here. Answering the bell from the Linn-Mar touchdown, man.
Yeah, all of a sudden this is looking like a track meet here. And Henderson had two great runs. He gets an 8-yard run, his first carry, and then the run in for the end zone as we finish up that conversation. But outstanding start for the Linn-Mar Lions offense, and now Dowling back in their territory to start this drive.
We'll go down to John Shido after this play. Here's a pass on the near sideline by Smollett, caught by Carson Brown. He's all the way down to the Linn-Mar 35-yard line, and that's a 9-yard gain on first down. John Chido, come on in. What a drive by Linn-Mar to start their first offensive possession.
Yeah, that's just a run over right tackle, and they pull the guy to help up through the hole, and they call it the C gap there, and there was untouched after that interior line and breakaway speed by the Linn-Mar running back. A nice offensive series for Linn-Mar.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it's a gain of 9 now for Dowling. And now here's Smolik, and he hands it off to C.J. Phillip, and he's stacked up, and no gain in the play there, if any. He may have struggled to get back to the line of scrimmage. Or flag late.
Yeah, flag late on that play.
Phillip may have lost a yard. He did. He lost 2 yards back to the 37. And let's see what the penalty is all about. As our officiating crew has Scott Brown, Jim Wilson, Alan Dries, Philip Boffman, and Kurt Renaud. And the penalty looks like holding against Dowling. They'll move the ball back to the 49 of Linn-Mar here, Matt.
Sam Watts was able to get to the backfield and stop C.J. Phillip there, short of the line of scrimmage. And then now you put the holding on top of it, and the Maroons are backed up.
So they'll spot it at the 49. Back to throw is Smolik, and he fires it near side. The pass is caught by Cooper Nicholson. That's his first catch. He's one of Dowling's leading receivers, and Cooper gets some of that yardage back, gets it down to the Linn-Mar 40-yard line, a gain of 9.
So from second and long to third and manageable here, Dowling Catholic took the short pass there to get some yards back, and now you've got a third and 7 going in here.
All right, here is Smolik. Empty backfield, 3 receivers left to the right, and here's a pass caught by Cooper Nicholson, and where they put him out of bounds, right about the 33, and that's near a first down, and they're going to give it to him. First down Dowling, and Cooper Nicholson knew exactly where the first down marker was on that one.
He ran a great pattern, knew where the sticks was, caught the ball. Smolik put it right on him right away. This spread set with 5 receivers has been very effective for Dowling when Smolik is back there at quarterback, and he's been able to pick people apart. And so here we go up with twins again and a single set.
7-yard gain. Back to throw is Smolik, and he fires it near side. The pass is, they're going to say, caught by the Maroons on the near sideline, and that was their Andrew Bliss, one of the backup receivers, with the catch. Look, he bobbled it, but he got possession and got 1 foot down at the 29 of Linn-Mar, gain of 4.
And that's the big thing. High school football, again, just like college, 1 foot down. He was bobbling it, got control of it, and got the 1 foot inbounds, and short pickup about 4 yards.
Maroons going hurry up. They snap the ball before 15 seconds are left on the play clock. Handoff on the ground. That's C.J. Phillip, and he grinds his way between the guards and follows the center and just grinds his way back to the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Clayton Muszynski again at the bottom of the pile for the Lions as he's wrapped around C.J. Phillips' feet, wouldn't let him to get any farther, and so no gain on that play for the Maroons creates a 3rd and 6.
So great job by the guys up front for Linn-Mar as their defensive line is really holding the test here. It's 3rd and 3 for Dowling. They fire it out. The pass is caught right around the 25-yard line. That's near a first down. I think it'll be short as he has to get to the 24-yard line. And they're going to spot forward progress right at the 25 on the reception that time by the Maroons.
So 4th and 1. You're kind of in no man's land right here. And so that's a pretty much wait. Let's see. Yes, I thought they were going to run the field goal unit out there, but it looks like they're bringing in other receivers here.
They're bringing their big unit with 2 tight ends and a fullback here for Dowling.
So they're loading it up with C.J. Phillip in the backfield and also then with Caden Sanders at the fullback position.
Pistol formation for Dowling. One receiver is wide left, and that is Cooper Nicholson. Dowling going right to left into this wind tonight. Play action, and now the handoff goes to the tailback, and he's grinding his way. I think he's got the first down. The spot is inside the 29. That should be good enough for the first down or right on it.
Yeah, right at the sticks. It looks like it should be enough. We'll see.
That is really close, and the officials haven't done anything yet.
I think the length of the football is going to give him a first down.
They're going to call an official's timeout. We'll keep it here. Phillip gets the ball inside the 25. Down to the 24. That was hard-earned yardage that he was going for there. We want to thank Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and our friends at Kemen for supporting our broadcast in our 45th year of broadcasting Dowling Catholic High School sports here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadeo, Matt Maindring. Down on the Dowling sideline is John Chido. It's tied at 7. 5 minutes remaining first quarter and a big first down measurement here. John Chido will bring you in and your thoughts halfway through this series.
Oh, he's short.
Yeah, he's going to come up just short there. And it's the backside. Credit to Linn-Mar's back defensive tackle making that play from the backside of the formation there.
Sam Watts, Colton Waller, along with Luke Gaffney. He's a two-way player, number 70. Keaton Roskup, number 85. That's up front for Linn-Mar. Jackson Severson, Mac Watts, Ryan Martin, and Clayton Muszynski, the linebackers, and the cornerbacks, Gavin Johnson, Jack Robertson, and the safety is Cam Gunther. So, yes, what you hear on offense, you'll probably hear on defense. There's 7 two-way players there, and they were involved. So, Linn-Mar with a huge hold there, and they take over from their own 24-yard line with 5 minutes remaining, and they'll hand it off to their tailback, Henderson, and he's spun around the backfield, and he'll be dropped for a loss back to the 23-yard line as the Maroons brought the house.
Jalen Pettis just about took the handoff there as he shot through the line of scrimmage and got into the backfield, and Joe Hughes ends up getting the stop on Henderson he did just get back to the line of scrimmage. I was going to say a 1-yard loss, but it is about back to the line of scrimmage. A couple scores early. We have Ankeny over Waukee Northwest 7-3 and Valley trailing Centennial 7-0.
All right, here it's 7-all Dowling and Linn-Mar. Quarterback is McCade Jelinek, and he's back to throw, rolls to his left, has pressure, fires the ball out, and the pass is caught right around the 40 or 36-yard line. It should be good enough for a first down. Nice sliding catch, and Robertson with the catch for Linn-Mar. Jack Robertson, the 6-foot senior, nice job. He's caught 5 touchdowns this year, and that's his 15th catch of the year.
Did it, and Jelinek did a really good job rolling out to his left and on the run through that ball where only his guy could get it, and sitting down just in bounds and moved his chains for the Lions.
13-yard gain. It's first down. I formation, yes. Under center is a quarterback, Jelinek, and he gives it to the tailback. That's Henderson over the right guard and center, and he just bowls his way up for a couple yards up near the 38-yard line. We'll give him 2 yards there.
It looked like Jalen Pettis on the bottom of the pile there for the Maroons, getting the stop on Henderson.
And that's good news to hear that name. It's the second time you mentioned him because he went out after the first play. He was shaken up on the first play of the game when they gave it to Henderson for a 9-yard carry.
Yeah, he's a big part of the defense.
Yes, he is. All right, it is 3rd and 2 for Linn-Mar. third and 7, Back to throw is Jelinek, rolls to his right, looks downfield, wants to throw long, and he does. The pass is incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver, Cam Gunther, who had one-on-one coverage down there against the Dowling defender.
Yeah, Jake Anderson in coverage for the Maroons as Cam was down the field there and kind of throwing it up in the air and see who can go get the football. Cam Gunther, 6'1", 180-pound senior, going up against Blake Anderson. And, there was a jump ball kind of situation, and the ball deflects away.
Yeah, remember, Linn-Mar has the wind at their back on this north-south field. The wind's out of the north. They're going left to right, north to south. So it's 3rd and 7, Linn-Mar. The ball on their own 39-yard line. Tied at 7 here with 3:15 remaining in the first quarter. And now a little swing pass to the left, a little lateral pass, and it's to Henderson. And Carter Henderson has a reception, the 6-foot junior. And he turns upfield, but he'll be shy of the first down as he crosses the 40 up to the 42-yard line, a gain of 4.
Gain of 4, tripped up by Joe Hughes there as he was gaining steam, and the Maroon defense rallied to the ball really well. Almost squirted through the 2 blocks and got the first down, but tripped up just short.
All right, now the punter will also be the quarterback, McKay Jelinek, who's a left-footed punter, and now we've got a timeout called by Dowling. So we'll take one ourselves. 2:46 remaining here in the first quarter, tied at 7. Dowling and Linn-Mar here in the first round of the Class 5A football playoffs from Williams Stadium in Des Moines, here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Our blessed Lord considered the 3 possible forms of church government. The democratic would be one in which a majority vote decides, in which everyone has an entirely different opinion of what is to be. The aristocratic is an appeal not so much to the majority or to the masses, but rather an appeal to an aristocracy, a House of Parliament, a Senate, a Congress, a House of Lords. And the theocratic is one in which God chooses one man as he chose Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses, and guides and protects and directs this man. Peter holds the primacy not only of honor, but also of jurisdiction over the church. He is the vicar of Christ, he is the first pontiff, he is the first pope.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium. Here is the punt after a rush that time by Dowling. The Maroons let the ball roll inside the 20. Cooper Nicholson will not return it. It's still rolling inside the 10, and Linn-Mar will down it right around the 6-yard line. So a tough break that time for Dowling Catholic. They almost had the block as the quarterback turned punter, Jelinek, left-footed kicker, just barely got the ball off, and it rolls all the way down. They're going to spot it at the 6-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will be, Matt.
That was a scramble back there for him to get that punt off, and he did a really good job of getting that thing off and then got a great roll as the wind and everything helps that ball trickle down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, the Maroons still have 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to go into a win out of the north. Here it's out of the end zone. Here is Smolik's pass caught on the far sideline, and it's right around the 10-yard line, so he gets a few yards. That looked like Carson Brown with the reception.
Carson Brown with the reception right there, and you have to pay attention because Mikey McLean was jetting down the sideline there, unaccounted for off that play, off that wide set.
We'll see if that eye in the sky picked that up. I'm sure he did. And Linn-Mar showing blitz here. It's 2nd and 5, and they give it to the fullback. And that time, let's see which one is. That looks like
that's Townsend.
Maroons go to their third tailback, and that's Adam Townsend, the senior captain, but starting linebacker, and he picks up the first down.
Adam, nice strong run right there for him as he got through that right side, right over top of Carey and Nahas, and rambled up there and got the first down and moves the chains as the Maroons work their way out of deep in this territory.
Yeah, 9-yard gain for Adam Townsend, and it's a first down Dowling at the 20-yard line. Smolik at quarterback, and he fires it right side. Pass is caught, and that was an absolute bullet on a little quick post pattern, a little skinny post pattern. Carson Brown with the reception.
Carson Brown with the reception and a big tackle by Gavin Johnston because he just got a shoestring. Otherwise, Carson Brown's still running for a while. So nice play by him to get the stop.
Gain of 9. It's 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Smolik fires out. Carson Brown with the reception at the 35. Tried to split 2 defenders, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 36-yard line. A gain of 7.
Gain of 7. Jackson Severson on the stop for the Lions as they get up and get Carson Brown. Right now, the Dowling Maroon offense is going tempo. They run those short passes into the wind, and Smolik is throwing things on the line right now.
He is throwing BBs out there. 7-all and under a minute left here in the first quarter. And a quick pass near sideline, caught right in front of the Dowling bench and right in front of us at the 42-yard line. A gain of 6.
They're content. Dowling is, Maroons are just running quick outs and quick curls, and it's given, and with the cushion that Linn-Mar has to give these receivers, it's been a pretty easy pitch and catch.
Townsend back in at tailback. And 2 receivers to the right. Let's see if Adam gets the ball here on 2nd and 3, and he does. Right up the gut, and he wiggles his way across the 45 up to the 46-yard line, stays between the tackles, and went over the right side off right guard, and the captain for Dowling Catholic, and he did a nice job with Gabe Carey leading the way.
Sam Watts at the bottom of the pile there again for the Linn-Mar defense, and was able to stop him a yard short of the first down, which is a big play as it brings up 3rd and short for the Maroons. They're going to let the time run out in the first quarter.
We've come to the end of the first quarter here in the Class 5A playoffs here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. And the score, it's 8th seed Dowling 7, 9th seed Linn-Mar 7. And we'll be back with the second quarter in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Has anyone ever told you to pray about it and left you thinking, okay, but how? First, invite the Holy Spirit to be with you as you talk to God. Think about what is going on in your heart and mind. Be honest. Acknowledge to God what you're thinking, feeling, and desiring, because He wants you, the real you. Then tell Him about what you're experiencing and entrust that to Him. Finally, let the Father love us. Ask yourself, how is God loving me right now? He is loving always. Sometimes we need to stop and think of blessings, because that is where we can find God.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio. 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines. 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines. 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido, as Dowling starts the second quarter off with a quick pass caught by Cooper Nicholson, and Maroons now in Linn-Mar territory here, Matt, at the 47-yard line.
Dante Cataldo comes in and throws a pass, which was probably a surprise for everybody there.
And Townsend now carries the ball for Dowling Catholic from the Linn-Mar 47 down to the Lions 46, and a short game there. We'll bring up. It'll be a first down carry as he had a yard to pick up, and he did.
Well, that was on first down, so it is 2nd and 9. Gaffney gets a stop on Townsend there, so they bring Smolik back in at quarterback.
They've been interchanging quarterbacks. Dowling does that a lot. Back to throw Smolik, fires the ball out, caught by Cooper Nicholson right in the middle of the field, and he gets it all the way down to the 30-yard line. Quick slant from the right side, and Cooper got another 5-7 yards after the catch, and those yards after the catch, those yaks, that's Cooper.
That's Cooper, and he went up and got that ball. That ball was a little bit high, and he went up and got it, and Muzinski makes a stop over the middle on Cooper as he rambles down to 30.
Gain of 16 yards, and let's see, Smolik remains at quarterback. He fires the ball out, pass caught, a quick hitter. And that was Bo Gamble on the reception, right at the 25-yard line for a gain of about, we'll call it 5.
As these quick hitters keep coming, the Linn-Mar defense keeps creeping closer and closer to those receivers. And right there, it was Mac Watts leading the charge there and getting Bo Gamble right when he caught the ball. He had three lines right there.
The Maroons going with 5 wideouts, nobody in the backfield, no tight ends. Quarterback is Smolik. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Dowling going left to right, north to south. Back to throw Smolik, and the ball is hit and deflected the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Great effort that time by the defensive lineman for Linn-Mar.
Keaton Roscop got up there and knocked that thing down. He took all of his 6'2" frame and went up there and knocked that ball down. And, defensive linemen get taught, if you're not going to get to the quarterback, get your hands up, knock it down, and he did exactly that there on that play to create this 3rd and 5.
Well, this is the 12th play of the Dowling drive that started back on their own 6-yard line, back when it was the first quarter. Now it's 3rd and 5, Dowling on the Linn-Mar 25. And now a pass to the left of the formation, another quick hitter, Matt, inside the, what are they going to call it, the 25-yard line, 20-yard line.
20-yard line. Jalen Thompson
with the catch, yep.
Thompson on the nice catch there, and Smolik has no fear. He threw that one into coverage a little bit, but Thompson's got a big frame about him, and the young man stands 6'4", 2 1/4, and he was able to create some space, and Smolik hit him right between the numbers.
5-yard gain, so it's 1st and 10 Maroons from the 20, and again the handoff, and that's Adam Townsend in there, and he gets the handoff down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards for the Maroons.
That might have been C.J. Phillip. Yeah, that was C.J. Phillip on that carry, running into the teeth of that defensive line from Linn-Mar. Watts, Whaler, Gaffney, and Roscap, they really swallowed him up right there and let him only get a couple yards for C.J.
Yeah, they give him 3 as the Maroons change their tailbacks between Middleton, C.J. Phillip, and Adam Townsend. And now here is Dante Cataldo in at quarterback, and he kind of reads the play, and he left it with the tailback, and the tailback's hit and drop back at the 18-yard line. So it'll be a loss in the play. That mesh did not go very well, and you got to credit the Linn-Mar defense there.
Yeah, credit to the Linn-Mar defense. They did not. They practiced it. They see that read option, and really did not give him any good reads. Clayton Muszynski again on the stop for the Lions.
So to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Maroons. Smolik back in at quarterback. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now we got a penalty flag down, and we got an illegal procedure. Let's go down to John Scheidel. Johnny, we didn't catch on that last break after the transition from the 1st to 2nd quarter. Give us an update from the Dowling sideline.
Well, offensively, they're getting stuff going here, and then kind of a little stalemate, and we're seeing a big 3rd down play again, and then we just got a false start, puts Dowling behind the chains, and that takes them out of their game plan. You got to credit Linn-Mar's defense, too. It's been tough running there ever since that first drive, which Dowling was able to run the ball with Cam Middleton successfully.
Well, we mentioned the head coach for Linn-Mar is also their defensive coordinator, and Tim Lovell's done a pretty good job. He's dialed up some stuff here tonight. The ball back to the 23-yard line. Back to throw Smolik. Fires left. It's caught Carson Brown with the catch right at the 11-yard line. He stays in bounds, and it's shy of the first down as he'll pick up 12 yards.
He did pick up 12 yards, just a yard short. You'd like to have seen him run that pattern just a yard deeper, because as he spun around and went back to get the ball, he ends up being 2 yards short, and Dowling's lining up to go for it here on 4th down.
Gain of 12, and it's 4th and 1 for the Maroons, and now a timeout will be called by, I believe, Linn-Mar. So we'll take a break with 7:56 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. We're tied at 7, Dowling and Linn-Mar in the 5A playoffs. Back at Williams Stadium in Des Moines after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org.
The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
All right, back at Williams Stadium here with just under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Tied at 7, Dowling and Linn-Mar. Dowling going for it. 4th and 2 in the Linn-Mar 12. Back to throw is Smolik. Fires in the end zone. He's got a man wide open, and he overthrew Bo Gamble. Nobody around him, right at the goalpost, at the goal line. Touchdown. It would have been a touchdown. And the Maroons turned the ball over on downs.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Smolik because I think he thought he could have ran for the first down. He was running for the first down, saw Gamble, and rushed his throw and overthrew him. Otherwise, that was 6 points, and the ball is turned over on downs, and Linn-Mar takes over.
Well, John Chida will bring you in from the Dowling sideline as Linn-Mar will take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory at their 12-yard line. But, Johnny, Dowling had the ball with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and they just now turn it back over to Urbandale on downs. That went 94 yards, 16 plays, and they were just shy of 94 yards.
Yeah, and that's 2 drives now. Dowling was unable to finish the drives there, both on 4th down, and that's a tough throw for Jackson to make, rolling to his right, kind of throwing back with his body, and Bo Gamble was wide open.
And the quarterback now for Linn-Mar keeps the football on 1st down, just trying to get some traction there, and Jelinek keeps it around the right side, and they're going to spot him down right at maybe a yard up the 13 man.
I think that they got T.J. Jackson in there at quarterback.
That's the Wildcat.
Okay, that's the Wildcat. Yeah, he's in that Wildcat. He's in there again. He's going to take this snap.
So that was the quarterback, T.J. Jackson. Low snap. T.J. picks it up. He thought about throwing it. Now he's running to his left, and he's finally pushed out of bounds, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jackson is the Wildcat quarterback. He's also the wide receiver. He's got 15 touchdown receptions this year as a wide receiver. 6 foot, 160 pounds, wears number 17, and Dowling that was well scouted.
That was well scouted. They ran him out to the wide side of the field, and he ran out of territory as he was looking to throw the football or run it, and didn't do either.
So officially no gain of the play. It'll be 3rd and 9 Linn-Mar from their own 13. And this time they give it to the tailback, and that's Carter Henderson. I'm not sure if that was Jelinek back in there or not, or T.J. Jackson handed it off to him. Nonetheless, he'll be shy of the first down up to the 17-yard line. He gains 4, but it'll bring up 4th down. 4th down for Linn-Mar, about 5 yards to go.
A good stop for the Maroon defense. Get the ball right back as they look to wear this team down as they, keep that offensive pounding the football and forcing the punt here for Linn-Mar.
Last time the Maroons almost got to the punter, and this time they get it away, and that's Jelinek, the quarterback, in left-footed punt. Takes a Linn-Mar bounce inside the 50, and it'll be down at the Dowling 45 as there's no return. Maroons had twin safeties back there with Cooper Nicholson and couldn't get a return. So Dowling will start 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 6:30 remaining here in the second quarter. 7-all's our score. Dowling and Linn-Mar here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido is at. Johnny, take it away.
Dowling's defense has really buckled down here ever since giving up that touchdown. And Linn-Mar's defense has been on the field quite a long time now. So you would think that something would break here for Dowling's offense to be able to finish the drive with Linn-Mar's defense being out there so long.
Yeah, that, and you got to remember, Linn-Mar's offense is also their defense. A lot of two-way players. This time Smolik back to throw, and he overthrows Cooper Nicholson on the far sideline as a pass went to the left of formation, incomplete, right around the 40-yard line of Linn-Mar.
Dowling has been committed to this spread offense of having 5 wide quite a bit, and now Cam Middleton comes back into the football game here, but they've been spreading things out, and Smolik's been putting the ball right on the line. That one he threw a little bit farther there. Cooper Nicholson was a little bit farther downfield, incomplete.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw Smolik, pumps once, now fires downfield, and it's a missile. He looked for Bo Gamble, and he overthrew him, but Bo was open, but he couldn't get it over the linebacker, and the pass went incomplete.
Now we have to ask Johnny if he thinks the wind's affecting a few of those passes right there, because Jackson hasn't missed anybody that far in a while, and he wasn't pressured to make the throw. And so now you've got 3rd and long for the Maroons.
All right, Dowling going with 3 receivers left, 2 to the right, empty backfield, Smolik at quarterback. It's 3rd and 10 from the Dowling 45. Back to throw, and the pass is caught. That's Cooper Nicholson. Gets away from the defender. Down the far sideline he goes at the 20 and finally run out of bounds at the 15 of Linn-Mar. yards after catch for Mr. Nicholson after a tremendous catch, Matt. There's a penalty flag, and they'll probably add half the distance here with a late hit. But what a catch by Cooper Nicholson in traffic.
In traffic, makes the catch, and then has a defender on his feet and is able to scoot away from him and break it down the middle of the field and to the far sideline on the Linn-Mar sideline. And the tackle came a little bit out of bounds. They threw the penalty flag on it, and so now you get another. So you will get half the distance to the goal line on the personal foul.
39-yard reception that time from quarterback Jackson Smolik to Cooper Nicholson. Then they're going to tack on personal foul penalty. That'll be half the distance. They'll move the ball inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. First and goal, Dowling from the 8 on the penalty. Maroons will go to pistol formation. 2 receivers right, and they give to the tailback, and that's Cam Middleton. He runs to his left over a left guard, and he gets down to about the 7-yard line or so a short gain that time, about a yard.
There was a crease there, and I'm trying to pick up the number right here, but I believe that was Clayton Musinski again coming from. He blitzed off the backside and was able to get Cam around the ankles as Cam had an alley into the end zone, but Musinski stopped him for the short gain.
All right, it's second and goal from the 7 for the Maroons. Here's a snap as Smolik in at quarterback. He hands it off to the tailback, and that is Cam Middleton, and he's hit and dropped after he tried to turn the corner over right tackle, and he was stood up back at the 8 or 9 yard line. Let's see where they spot him down, and Cam is down on the play.
He was stood up. Musinski again, I believe, on that play, and he laid a lick on Cam Middleton. And it was a good form tackle. Might be the wind knocked out of Cam.
Yeah, we've got a delay here as they tend to Cam Middleton back at the Linn-Mar 10-yard line. We want to thank Kemen, along with Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Northwest Bank, our supporters here on our 45th year of covering Dowling Catholic High School sports here in the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale here in the press box. John Chidle's on the field. We'll go to him in a moment. But, Matt, you got to look at some scores that we've had in these 5A playoffs to see if we can get some scores caught up.
You bet. We have Valley now has, and I believe that's what happened to Cam. He's back up. I believe he had the wind knocked out of him. Valley's up now on Ankeny Centennial 14-7. The Urbandale kickoff got delayed. It must have been travel issues getting to Iowa City, so that one is delayed. This is a great time, Mark, to take a moment and acknowledge a cross-country boys state championship. They came back and
Tim Ives and
Coach Ives did an outstanding job. They could not beat Sioux City North until it mattered today, and won the state meet. Jackson Heights state champion. Outstanding day for the Maroons, and the girls took 11th.
That's right, and an updated score. Cedar Rapids Kennedy leading 7-3 in their game. And here's a pass in the end zone, touchdown, Jackson Smolik, and he found a receiver, Cooper Nicholson, running the quick out in the end zone from 7 yards out or 8 yards out, and Dowling now back on top, 13-7 over Linn-Mar with 5:04 remaining in the second quarter. Matt,
that's a long timing throw right there because they are throwing to the wide side of the field, and the strength of the arm right there for Smolik is what makes that play. Is he is able to put that ball on the line, hits him off the break, and Cooper Nicholson, because the coverage was pretty good, Cooper Nicholson creates a crease, gets the touchdown, and the Maroons are up.
And Diego Leon's extra point is good. Dowling now leading 14-7. The Maroons go 6 plays, 55 yards on this drive. We'll take a break. Timeout on the field. 5:04 remaining, second quarter. Dowling 14, Linn-Mar 7 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Weekdays at 1 p.m., it's Dr. David Anders with Call to Communion. It's a live call-in show for non-Catholics and fallen away Catholics. Called to Communion on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Connecting listeners with Christ.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium. Here's a kickoff by Diego Leon, and it's a touchback as he kicks it to the through the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 Linn-Mar from their own 20-yard line. Dowling leading by the score of 14-7. Dowling going 6 plays and 55 yards. And a 8-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Smolik, the Dowling quarterback, to Cooper Nicholson, his receiver. And Maroons up 14-7. Let's go back down to the Dowling sideline. That's where John Chido's been on this cool, crisp night. Johnny, give us an update.
Well, Cooper Nicholson had 2 big plays there. Obviously the touchdown there, the end of the drive, but the big play on 3rd and long there where he was able to get in the middle of the field when no free safety in the middle of the field for Linn-Mar. Cooper's able to get free with the man coverage, make a nice catch and run.
All right, Johnny, thanks for that update. As a Linn-Mar offense on the field from their own 20-yard line. They're back to the traditional set, and the give is to the tailback that time. They go out of the I formation, Matt, and Maroon defense had that well read. That play barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Matter of fact, lost in a play to the 17-yard line.
Cody Heikus had got into the backfield off the snap and was able to get Henderson before he had any momentum to get going and makes a big tackle for a loss there for the Maroons.
So Henderson loses yardage on that play. Game clock continues to run as we're under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Dowling has taken its second lead. It is 2nd down and 14 from the 16-yard line. And now a little swing pass caught by the tailback, Carter Henderson. And I'll tell you what, that was a dangerous pass because Jelinek, the quarterback, was getting hit, and he threw it up. And luckily for him, Henderson made the catch and got back to the line of scrimmage. May have gained a yard out of the whole thing.
The screen was set up, and Hagan, they let Hagan go through purposefully, but he really made it hard for the throw to happen. And then you had Jalen Pettis read it, and he drops back into coverage and almost catches Henderson from behind, and he did make a difficult throw. And fortunately for Linn-Mar, the pass was completed and back to the line of scrimmage.
All right. 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 Linn-Mar. They'll go with 4 receivers. One goes in motion, and that is Gavin Johnston. And back to throw is their quarterback. Jelinek's going to be sacked. Sacked back inside the 5-yard line. And guess who? Jalen Pettis all over him.
Jalen Pettis and Hagan. And we're back there, and they met at the quarterback.
And Heikus.
They're
all there.
They're all there. Jelinek was running for, didn't have any chance back there. Jalen Pettis blew up his kid on the left side of the line of scrimmage, on the left side of the defensive side, and went unabated to the quarterback.
That's
not much time.
15-yard sack by those 3 that we just mentioned, and back to punt.
And he's standing on the back of the goal line.
Is the quarterback, McKay Jelinek, the left-footed kick, gets a punt off, but Dowling's going to have the return. Cooper Nicholson at the 32, on the return left, across the 20, inside the 15, stops, and finally run out of bounds. Great return by Cooper Nicholson, as Dowling now will have tremendous field position. And John Chido, as we go down the U, Dowling with the first down at the Linn-Mar 15-yard line. Maroons leading 14-7. Good defense sets up the offense here. Wonder we've heard that many times throughout the year, huh?
Oh, quite a bit. And I tell you what, Matt's exactly right. Carson Hagan on that screen pass made the quarterback throw it sooner than he wanted to because they had it set up. And when Carson Hagan barreling down on the quarterback makes him throw it, and then the speed of Heikus and Pettis on the edge, what a great defensive series for the Maroons.
All right, first down for Dowling at the 15. And let's see which running back it is. I think it's C.J. Phillip in there, and it is. He gets it down to the 10-yard line, so he picks up a 5-yard chunk there over left guard and center, Matt.
Nice run by C.J. there. That's a big push, and this is where it starts to tell a little bit when you're running both. Most of your line is going both ways. This is when this quick turnaround offense to defense.
Sure.
And they've got to get down that stance and take a hit with a fresh offensive line.
All right, the Maroons bring in a fullback, Caden Sanders, and now they give it to C.J. Phillip, and he gets into that second level, and he's hit by the linebacker inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. He'll pick up about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3 for Dowling.
3rd and about 3, and I believe that Clayton Muzinski again. He's on every tackle, it seems like, for the Lions, as he's having a heck of a night. C.J. gets down a couple yards short of the first down marker, and Dowling's going to come out and spread it out.
Maroons on their Linn-Mar 7-yard line. It's 3rd and 3. 3 receivers right, and that's where Smolik looks right. He fires in the end zone, caught, and it's Karsten Brown with the with the catch and touchdown. He actually caught it on the goal line, spun around and stuck the ball over the goal line, and then was hit. Touchdown Dowling, and the Maroons now have scored in back-to-back possessions.
Cam Gunther was back there in coverage and was a step short, and Smolik got that ball there just in time, and Carson Brown gets hit. As you said, Mark, gets hit the goal line, spins around, gets in the end zone.
So Dowling scoring on their second consecutive possession. Here's Cataldo in the hold. Diego Leon with the extra point. It's good. Hagan with a great snap, and the Maroons are up 21-7 over Linn-Mar. Minute 38 remaining here in the second quarter. Back after this 1-minute break from Williams Stadium in Des Moines. You're listening to the Class 5A football playoffs here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever noticed that most modern philosophies are very dark and depressing? As G.K. Chesterton says, most people in our world today have been forced to be happy about the little things, but sad about the big ones. But that's not the way we were meant to be. We were meant to be joyful. Sadness is only an interlude. Praise should be the permanent pulsation of the soul. The Christian is able to deny himself immediate pleasures because there's great joy and fulfillment inside him. The pagan must constantly seek after pleasure because there's great sadness and emptiness inside him. Joy, which is the small publicity of the pagan, is the gigantic secret of the Christian. Let's share the secret. Want more than a minute? Visit our website, chesterton.org.
We're back here at Williams Stadium. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring and John Chido, as Dowling now scoring on their second consecutive possession, and a nice drive put together. 3 plays, 15 yards, as now Diego Leon boots the ball in the end zone. Touchback, and it'll be Linn-Mar ball, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Dowling's drive, 3 plays, 15 yards, capped off by a Carson Brown 7-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Smolik, his second touchdown throwing tonight. And the first one caught by Carson Brown. Let's go down the Dowling sideline. And, Johnny, as we mentioned, that defense set up the Dowling offense there with the short field.
Yeah, and helped Cooper Nicholson fielding that punt and getting a nice return and great field position for Dowling. But how about that throw by Jackson Smolik on that touchdown to Carson Brown? That was a bullet to get in that tight window.
Yeah, it certainly was, and propelled Dowling into the end zone. And, of course, Diego Leon perfect on his extra points throughout the year. Has not missed tonight. He was 28 for 28 coming in here. And now on first down, they give it to Henderson again. He's been the workhorse. He has over 1,000 yards rushing for Linn-Mar, and he picks up a short gain from his own 20-yard line. Let's see if they're going to spot that at. Back a yard. They spot his knee down back at the 19, Matt.
Jalen Pettit shot through. They've flipped Jalen to the other side of the line of scrimmage, away from the big guy, Luke Gaffney. And he is flying through the line of scrimmage, making tackles. Of course, they are flip-flopping strengths here. Now he is on the right side, to Gaffney's side.
All right, so Henderson, a loss of 1 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. This time they give it to him again, right side, bounces outside the number, still on his feet, and he hops across the 25 up to the 27-yard line, so he picks up 8 yards. He'll be shy of the first down.
You know, you have to just pay attention as they continue to do this. If they're going to flip-flop, make sure that they run to their weak side more, because Pettis is switching to the strong side of the offensive formation, and then they ran back to the weak side on that play for the big run.
All right, the line of scrimmage is a 27, a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Dowling leading 21-7 over Linn-Mar of Marion. The winner of this game will play the winner of the game just east of here, about 5 miles, and that's Southeast Polk in Pleasant Hill. Southeast Polk hosting Johnson tonight, and we'll get an update on some of the scores as we move towards halftime. Let's bring in John Chido. And, Johnny, you're on the Dowling sideline. We've had a lot happen. I know Cam Middleton fell on the football. We think the wind was knocked out of him, and we saw Pettis come out early on the first play of the game, but then he went back in. So injury bug, have you kept up on any of that?
Yeah, and both those two guys are fine. The one that's a little concerning is Chase Patton. We have not seen him back in the game since he went out with that injury.
Yeah, Pettis was fine. It was Patton that.
It was Patton that went down with the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good note there. Now out of the timeout, Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. 50 seconds remaining. It's 3rd and 3 for Linn-Mar. And don't think if they don't get the first down, Dowling will call timeout, especially if it's a run play. We'll see what happens here. Okay, quarterback McKay Jelinek out of the shotgun. Wants to throw, now wants to run the option. And he laterals the ball late to his tailback, and that's Carter Henderson, and he's smothered under, and the Maroons are going to call timeout, and they do. With 40 seconds left, Matt.
That was a slow developing play, and then all of a sudden you've got Jelinek hung out there in no man's land, and he pitches out to Henderson, which was an awkward long throw, and gets that throw out to him, and by that time everybody had been able to rally to the football for no gain.
And it was 2-yard loss, actually.
2-yard loss.
Line of scrimmage was a 27. It's back to the 25. We'll keep it here. And I want to thank folks for supporting our broadcast all season long. Our sponsors have been with us. This is our 45th year broadcasting Dowling Catholic Sports here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Again, welcome to the listeners from Eastern Iowa, the folks from Linn-Mar. As Coach told me earlier, Coach Lovell said, hey, we haven't had any of our games on radio, and I had to pick up some of the stuff from him and a few others, so appreciate all their support. But welcome to the listeners from Linn-Mar. I want to thank Ashworth Vision here in Central Iowa, of course, construction professionals, dental associates, and Kemen. Alongside Matt Mainring, if you want to complain, he's the principal at Dowling Catholic High School, former head coach at Sheldon before we got him back to Central Iowa. I'm Mark Amadale, and, of course, John Chido, our 8th grade coach at Dowling Catholic, is our sideline reporter. And we're not going to try to be too biased. We want to welcome the Linn-Mar fans because they want to know the score. It's 21-7 Dowling, 40 seconds left, and now Jelinek back to punt, and he gets a nice punt away, chases Cooper back to the 40-yard line, Cooper Nicholson, and a return up to the 45, and that's where Dowling will start. 1st and 10 right around their own 46-yard line. With 30 seconds remaining, the Maroons about 54 yards away from the red zone.
And Jelinek right there did save, flipped the field a little bit to the favor of Linn-Mar there, as he had a nice punt and got the ball back into their territory, and so Dowling's got 63 yards to go here to get into the end zone in 30 seconds.
And we'll see what the Maroons do. They're going to bring in, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They'll go with 1 tight end and empty backfield for quarterback Jackson Smolik. 1st and 10 Dowling. They spotted at the 47. Back to throw Smolik over the middle. He fires it. A pass is caught right at the 40-yard line of Linn-Mar. That'll stop the clock as Bo Gamble with the reception for the Maroons.
Bo Gamble and it looked like Drew Winget in the same area there, but they got the ball, got the first down, moved the chains, and the clock is rolling.
Gain of 13. 5 receivers now. Back to throw as Smolik fires it out. Caught by Cooper Nicholson, and a little drag pattern, if you will, from the left hash all the way to the far sideline right in front of the Linn-Mar bench. He goes out of bounds, and he stops the clock now with 11 seconds remaining, and Dowling with a second down and short at the 32-yard line, they'll call. Gain of 8, Matt.
Dowling has a 1 timeout left, up 21-7 here, and looking so they can go over the middle. They can go anywhere with the football right here to try to get a few more yards for Diego Leon to kick a field goal.
All right, Maroons get last-minute personnel on the field. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Dowling going left to right, north to south here at Williams Stadium. Back to throw. Smolik fires out, pass is caught, and falling down, that's the tight end Winget with the catch, and that'll stop the clock to move the chains.
They're going to try and spike the ball here and do with 4 seconds left.
That'll bring in the field goal unit with Diego Leon, as Dowling now, the line of scrimmage is the 22-yard line of Linn-Mar. It was a 10-yard catch that time by Winget.
And they could have called a timeout there and made it a lot easier, but at this point in the season, you've practiced this a lot. You want to get up there and practice that spike, save yourself in case something goes wrong here personnel-wise. You still have a timeout.
All right, a 39-yard field goal attempt for the Maroons. The long snapper will be the young man who plays on the defensive line. That's Carson Hagan. The holder will be Dante Cataldo, the backup quarterback. Here's Diego Leon. And from 35 yards out, the kick is up, and it is good. 39 yards, rather, for Diego Leon. It's good. And Dowling now goes into the half leading 24-7 over Linn-Mar. And how about that? Diego Leon's field goal, and that is, not quite as long as he kicked the 41-yarder earlier, so it ranks right up there and well played. as we'll give John Chido, who will catch up with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic here at halftime. Dowling 24, Linn-Mar 7 here in the Class 5A first round. John Chido, take it away with Coach Wilson.
Coach, great start to the first half there. Diego Leon get the 3 points there in the last half of the ball game. Your thoughts so far?
Well, I was really proud how we executed on the hurry stuff. We got to run the ball a little bit better, but obviously we're throwing the ball well. I think defensively we've got our legs under us now, but we've got to make sure we keep 5 covered up, and the running backs do a nice job.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, that's John Chido catching up with head coach Tom Wilson as the Maroons lead it 24-7 here at halftime. Matt Mainring from Williams Stadium. We haven't been here for a couple years. If COVID kind of took care of that, and now we're back here, and you can see we're at the home of the Grandview University Vikings, who, by the way, are home tomorrow at noon against Peru State. They're undefeated and 4th ranked nationally in NAIA football. Joe Woodley and company do a great job with the program, and one of our guys with the Catholic Football League, Andy Jepson, is one of the coaches here. He's the quarterback coach as we progress here to halftime. And we got the numbers. Jared Seifert, one of your math teachers that you keep employed there at Dowling. I think Jared does a good job. I don't know if he does a better job with this or coaching third base in baseball.
He's a better teacher than both.
Oh, okay.
That?
You got me.
Okay.
You got me. All right. Let's take a look at the numbers here at halftime. Total yardage, Dowling with 281 yards, Linn-Mar with 74. As Linn-Mar has 15 yards in the air, 59 yards on the ground. Dowling with 199 yards in the air of Jackson Smolik and Dante Cataldo combined. And rushing, the Maroons with 82 yards on the ground. Maroons have been penalized twice for 19 yards. Linn-Mar penalized twice for 9 yards. And first downs, Dowling with 14 and Linn-Mar with 2. Jackson Smolik, 21 out of 26 passing, 199 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions tonight for Dowling. And for Linn-Mar, their quarterback is having a pretty good, decent night himself. As quarterback McKay Jelinek, 3 out of 4 passing for 15 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Cam Middleton, leading ball carrier for Dowling, 6 carries, 59 yards. Adam Townsend, 3 carries for 12 yards. C.J. Phillips, 7 carries for 10 yards. And Dante Cataldo, 1 carry for 1 yard and a touchdown. And for Linn-Mar, Carter Henderson, 9 carries, 74 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown was for 56 of those yards. Also in there, T.J. Jackson, 2 carries for no yards, and quarterback McKay Jelinek, 1 carry for negative 15 yards. That was the sack. Leading receiver for Linn-Mar, Jack Robertson, 1 catch for 12 yards, and out of the backfield, Carter Henderson, 2 catches for 3 yards. For Dowling, Cooper Nicholson, the junior, 8 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown. Carson Brown, 7 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Bo Gamble, 2 catches for 18 yards. Jalen Thompson, the Dowling tight end, 2 catches for 12 yards. Drew Wingett, the other tight end, 1 catch for 9 yards. And Andrew Bliss, 1 catch for 4 yards. So, again, total yardage in the first half, Dowling with 281, Linn-Mar with 74. So those are some of the numbers. And, Coach Mainring, anything stick out to you as far as some of that?
Well, I think the amount of passing yards that Dowling has been able to run up, and Smolik has been able to throw the ball well, and they've committed to that short passing game and moved the ball down the field has been a good thing for Dowling, obviously. I think it was impressive, Linn-Mar in their first drive, how they were able to move the ball down the field real quickly and set the tone for their offense. And after that, they've had a tough time finding their traction here and haven't had real good field position, and so the Dowling defense has kept them in the hole, and so we'll see where things roll into the second half.
Yeah, forcing several punts in deep in Linn-Mar territory, which created a short field. Cooper Nicholson, a couple punt returns, and that set up a couple touchdowns. Let's go through the first half scoring before we go to break, as Diego Leon closed out the first half with a 39-yard field goal to give Dowling the 24-7 lead it enjoys here at halftime. Maroons got it started first. They took the opening kickoff and went 8 plays, 69 yards, and that was capped off by a Dante Cataldo 1-yard run with 8:44 remaining in the first quarter. Diego Leon's extra point made it Dowling 7-0 over Linn-Mar. Later in the first quarter, it was Linn-Mar on their first offensive possession. On the second play, it was Carter Henderson, on a 56-yard run over right end. Took it outdistanced everybody on the foot race. 7-7 tie with the extra point good by Micah Baumhoffner. and that went 2 plays and 65 yards. And it was all Dowling the rest of the second quarter, 5:04 remaining in the second quarter. Jackson Smolik throwing for the first of 2 touchdowns, 8 yards to Cooper Nicholson, and with 1:38 left in the half, 7-yard pass from Smolik to Carson Brown. Leons made both extra points, making it 21-7. One of those drives was a 6-play, 55-yard drive for Dowling, and then the next one we talked about, the short field, 3 plays and 15 yards. And then with no time remaining here in the second quarter, Diego Leon on a 39-yard field goal capped off a drive for Dowling after taking over, and that went 4 plays and 53 yards after the field goal, and the Maroons lead it here at halftime 24-7 over the Linn-Mar Lions in our Class 5A first-round game in the high school football playoffs. We'll take a break and come back. Earlier I caught up with Dowling head girls basketball coach Kristen Meyer, who begins practice here a week from Monday. I caught up with her earlier, so we'll take a break and be back. Again, our halftime score, it's Dowling 24, Linn-Mar 7 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support
Iowa Catholic
Iowa
Radio,
Catholic
1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And welcome back to halftime here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines, alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, John Chido along on the Dowling sideline. Dowling leading Linn-Mar 24-7 here at halftime. We have some other scores before we go to our interview with Kristen Meyer. Matt?
Southeast Polk is up on Johnson 37-0 with about 2.5 minutes left in the first half. 37-0 Southeast Polk. Kennedy up on Senior Yet 13-11. Iowa City High is up on Urbandale 14-0. That's in the first quarter. Got a late start because of travel issues. And then Ankeny is still up on Waukee Valley. Let me get to the Valley score. Valley's up 14-7 at half. And Ankeny is up on Waukee Northwest 14-3 at the half.
All right. And 13-3 Cedar Rapids Kennedy back in Cedar Rapids as Kennedy is leading Dubuque Senior. And that looks like a halftime score. So Scott Unash from the folks over there in Cedar Rapids with that update. Here it's 24-7, Dowling leading Linn-Mar at halftime. And earlier I caught up with Dowling girls basketball coach Kristen Meyer, and we'll go to that taped interview that I had earlier with Coach Meyer earlier this week. We're here at halftime, and this is Mark Amadale visiting with Dowling head girls basketball coach Kristen Meyer. And Coach, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this year. It's hard to believe this is year number 6 for you here at Dowling.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, and this fall sure went quick, so we're ready to get going here in about a week and a half.
Well, it seems like basketball season, probably one of the longer seasons in high school sports, because you have that Christmas break in between. It's through the winter. We're dealing with snow and ice, postponements, cancellations, all that. But here we are, and looking forward to the season. When do the Dowling girls and the rest of the state start practicing in girls basketball this year?
We start up Monday, November 8th, so just over a week away we will be in the gym, and with this cold weather, we're ready to start the indoor sports.
Oh, no question about it. And it was a lot of fun last year. You got the state tournament. What a road it was, because it seemed like within your conference, just the Central Conference of CIML, then you add on the rest of CIML, you're almost playing a state tournament game, and we see that every Tuesday and Friday night once the season gets rolling. But you've kind of endured that, and your team did last year. It was ups and downs, but you put it together at the right time.
Yeah, we really enjoy playing in the CIML, and as you mentioned, we've got some tough teams, and you see them, throughout the week, every Tuesday, Friday, and then the road to state, you kind of hope you get matched up maybe with someone else from across the state. But we enjoy just playing competitive games, and that's what we get pretty much every day that we have a conference game.
Yeah, no question. I remember it's ironic tonight, Dowling football team playing Linn-Mar here at Williams Stadium, and yet you beat Linn-Mar at Dowling to advance out of the first round or the semifinal round, and then you won at Cedar Rapids, Washington. That was a game that Tom Donahue and I were on the baseline. I hope it didn't cause too much problems for you guys, but you had the big win.
Yeah, that was sure an exciting one. We were down early and low-scoring game, and that second half was pretty exciting. And there's a few fans in there, but not a lot. So it'll be nice this year to have fans back in student sections, hopefully. And that was definitely a fun win for us, and hoping to get a lot of fun wins this year.
Coach, as a teacher and coach, and I see it as a broadcaster a lot, you get attached to these kids. They've been with your program a long time. And certainly last year you graduated 6 seniors. 4 of them played a lot, and the other 2 got in some minutes, but they all graduated, and now you got a whole new crop of kids in it. Let's talk about last year's seniors a little bit while we have time. You had 4 of them that started, and they were pretty good players, a couple of them playing other sports in college, and one, Lexi Bowles, at Illinois State.
Yeah, last year's senior class was just a great group of athletes, great group of teammates. I really enjoyed coaching them. So, as you mentioned, Lexi Bowles is at Illinois State. We're excited to watch her play this year, and she'll be coming to Des Moines to play Drake, so we'll definitely take the team over there. We actually just set up a Dowling Day for that game with Coach Allison Pullman from Drake, so we're excited. That's not till February. And then Ella McVeigh is at Michigan playing softball. Margaret Tobias is at Kentucky playing softball. So, talk about high-level athletics that they're competing in. And then them along with Maddie Wishman was the starter for us last year, and then Olivia Bailey and Paige Hobbs came off the bench for us, and just a really strong senior class, points-wise, leadership-wise, rebounds, all those things. So we'll look quite a bit different this year with those 6 gone.
Well, that seems like it's going to be empty. I mean, that's a lot of experience that graduated too, not only in practice but in games. But Emma Gipple, your 5th starter, she's back for her senior year. But, you graduated at 37 points. Let's talk about this year's Maroons, and led by Emma Gipple, your returning starter.
Yeah, Emma will be a 4-year starter for us. She's definitely got the most varsity experience for us. And then probably next is Julia Moore, who's a junior guard for us. And Lauren Frericks played a little bit last year. Lauren's a junior this year, but she had some injuries. So she didn't get to play the first probably 3/4 of the season. So we'll be pretty inexperienced, but that just means that we'll have opportunities early on for a lot of girls to get experience and welcome them to the varsity level. So we're excited to see some new faces and see kind of who steps up to fill those roles and those minutes and points and rebounds from the graduating seniors from last year.
We're visiting with Kristen Meyer, the Dowling girls basketball coach, her 6th year here at Dowling. And, of course, the first game we're going to broadcast will be your 5th game. That'll be against Des Moines Roosevelt on, I think, the first Friday in December. That'll be our first girl-boy doubleheader. Roosevelt comes to Dowling, and we'll broadcast both games. But, Coach, what a schedule you have. Always, it seems like, once until COVID hit, heading up to the Twin Cities for Thanksgiving weekend, and that's always a great experience, and seeing some pretty good teams up there.
Yeah, the tournament that they run up there, it started as an all-Catholic schools tournament. I think it's expanded to offer the opportunity to more teams. But they reached out to us a few years ago, so this, I think, will be our 3rd time going up there. Last year it was canceled, obviously, with COVID. And I think the 2 teams that were playing this year, one was a state champion last year, and one was a state runner-up. One's out of Wisconsin, one's out of Minnesota. So it's just a great opportunity to play some teams that we won't see throughout the regular season, and it's a fun trip over Thanksgiving, some team bonding, that type of thing. But we're excited to go back up there this year, especially after missing last year due to COVID.
And, of course, your season opener is on a Tuesday night. It's right before Thanksgiving, Tuesday, November 23rd. You travel to Mason City, CIML non-conference game, but you go to Mason City, and they're always well prepared. They always have some nice teams in the postseason. They drop down to class. They're in 4A right now in basketball, but that's always a tough place to play. But you're going to be playing at North Iowa Community College, because I think the Mason City gym is being renovated.
Yeah, we're excited to play on a college floor, and I tell you what, Mason City always shoots well in their own gym. So maybe going to the college floor, maybe we'll have a better chance of outshooting them. But as you mentioned, they're always a solid team. And a little bit to travel, but it'll be good for us on that first trip to get up there and just start the season off.
Well, the CIML Central Conference opener for you is several weeks from that, and that's when you host Valley in a girl-boy doubleheader here on Friday, December 10th. And the CIML, your Central Conference, you look at Valley, Waukee, Johnston. A couple of those have been state champs here in the last few years. Then you mix in Southeast Polk, another team. And I know Waukee Northwest isn't part of the Central Conference, but you're going to be playing them in their first year. So it never gets easy, but it seems like you got to play some of these teams twice, and they're ranked both times you play them.
Yeah, well, last year, I mean, you looked at our conference, it was just, I mean, I think there was 5 out of the 6 of our teams ranked in the top 10. And all 7 of our losses last year were to top 5 ranked teams. So when you look at it, when you had a couple losses to Southeast Polk, a couple to Waukee, a couple to Johnston, those are our top 1 through 3 teams. And I'm sure this year we'll have a number of teams in our conference in the top 5. But again, it's fun. It's fun to go out and have a challenge every night and hope to knock off a couple. Or if you're ranked ahead of them, you hope to not get knocked off. But we're looking forward to the challenge and playing against some really top-level teams and individual players.
Well, we look forward to covering a lot of those games, Coach Marr, on the Dowling girls and boys side this winter. Let's talk about your coaching staff. You're still going to have the JV1, JV2 teams, and, of course, your coaching staff. Coach Dannerback is your assistant, and I think Coach Meyer will be she'll be coming back. So talk about your coach staff on the varsity and the others.
Yeah, on the varsity with me, I've got Joel Danner, who's been with me all 6 years, and then Audrey Faber, who joined our staff last year, and she had played at Creighton and played here at Dowling during high school. So I think we work really well together. At the JV level, we've got Tom Donahue and Lisa Smith, who have been here all 6 years that I've been here and worked with the Hansons, and I've coached at Dowling for quite a while and do a great job. And then the JV2, which is kind of like our freshman level, we've got Jonathan Vandera, who's been here since I've started coaching, so all 6 years together, and then Logan Greiner, who I believe this is his 3rd year coaching the JV2. So it's great having our coaching staff back. We work well together. All of our coaches treat kids really well, and it's really fun getting to work with them all winter.
The missing coach, that's what I was having a brain freeze on, was Scott Babinat, who is since retired. But we hope he listens, because I know he was a big listener, so was his family, so hope Scott won't be too far removed.
Oh, definitely, and we'll be texting and calling him to get his ideas and tips and ask what he's seeing or hearing it when he's listening to the games.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, talk about the summer. Obviously, it seems like you go and you might play in camps, go to different team camps and that when you can get the kids together when they're not out for other sports. Talk about how that went for the Dowling girls team.
Well, after the summer before with COVID where you couldn't really do much, it was nice just to be able to get back in the gym. And we had a really good summer. We have, a big freshman class coming in, which we're excited about. And our returners could get back in together and just kind of play together. We've got a number of kids playing softball, soccer, other sports. But it's one of those come when you can type of things, and just a good chance to blend some of the new players with the experienced players. And I thought we just had a really good summer overall, getting to play together and kind of get to know each other and kind of lead up to the season.
Well, looking forward to covering your games this year, a 22-game season, because you just added a team here recently, and that's Sioux City East, a team we saw in volleyball here a few nights ago, propelled the Dowling girls volleyball team to state next week. So looking forward to that and all the challenges that involves.
Yeah, we're excited to pick up a 22nd game. They just needed another game and asked us, and since they said they'd make the trip over, we said, sure, come on over. And we're just getting excited for the season, and we're really thankful that you cover a lot of our games and make it available to people who aren't able to come to the gym.
That is comments from head coach Kristen Meyer at Dowling Catholic, the girls basketball coach, whose season gets underway here later on in November. Alongside Matt Maindring and John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale. We're live from Williams Stadium at halftime. Dowling leading 24-7 over Linn-Mar of Marion. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. What great news for donors to the Catholic Tuition Organization. You now receive 75%. Yes, 75% of your donation back in Iowa tax credits beginning January 1st of this year. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. Best gift ever. Online, ctoiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium, underway here in the second half after the opening kickoff was returned by Linn-Mar up to about the 28-yard line. Now on first down, they run the football, and Henderson with the carry for the Lions, and gain of about 4 up to the 32-yard line. Let's see what adjustments, Matt Maynard, were made here at halftime.
Linn-Mar's going to try and sit there and figure out what we replicate that first drive they have and see if they can get some in the first half and see if they can get some positive yardage with Henderson moving the ball with that offensive line.
I'll bring up third down now for Linn-Mar. Check that 2nd and 5 for Linn-Mar from their own 32-yard line. Henderson gaining 5 yards on first down. Back to throw is Jelinek. Rolls to his left, being chased. He's going to be sacked. He's thrown down and sacked. Ball's loose, but Linn-Mar gets on top of it, and once again, a tremendous sack. That's about the third one tonight, and this one is Jalen Pettis.
Jalen Pettis went through the line of scrimmage and virtually untouched, and Jelinek had very little time to roll out or do anything with the football, and as Jalen was knocking him to the ground, the ball comes out, and they cover it, and it's still Linn-Mar's ball at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, big loss at that time of about 17 yards, 18-yard loss. My goodness, that's on that sack. So here we go, 3rd and long for Linn-Mar, and if they don't get gain some ground here, Matt, they're going to be punting deep in their own territory. Now we've got penalty flags down on the snap, and let's see what this is all about. And the Dowling fans are saying it is penalty against Linn-Mar.
Delay of game against Linn-Mar as they didn't get the play off in time. And they're going to have to put an extra guy on the side of wherever Jalen Pettis is at, because right now he is really becoming a wrecking machine for the Dowling defense into that Linn-Mar offense.
All right, McCade Jelinek, the quarterback. He's going to do a quick kick on a 3rd and a mile. He punts it, and it's fielded by Dowling Catholic, and that's from Blake Anderson at about the 45 of Linn-Mar. On the return at the 35 near side, and he just couldn't get out of a tackle. Otherwise, he had clear sailing. And finally, a touchdown-saving tackle done by one of the offensive linemen, and that is Ryan Martin, the starting left guard, who made the touchdown-saving tackle. It'll be first down Dowling at the Linn-Mar 34.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle. As Blake Anderson's diving and dodging people with after that quick kick, and a really good call there on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, it was.
And to get the ball out of that end zone and to create some space and give Dowling the ball now here at the 34.
1st and 10 Maroons from the 34-yard line of Linn-Mar, and the quarterback is Jackson Smolik, and they give it to the tailback. And let's see which one is of 3 that have been in there. It looks like Cam Middleton.
Cam Middleton, which is good to see, because the last time he was on the field, he went out with an injury, and I believe it was the wind knocked out of him, and Johnny might have heard at halftime too. Good strong run there by Cam, 7-yard run over that left side and behind bag and toss there for the Maroons.
So 2nd and 3 now for Dowling, and here is a give up the middle. Middleton running over left guard and tackle, and he drags tacklers inside the 20, still on his feet and down at the 19-yard line, and that'll be a first down. And Cam, a nice hard run of about 8 yards there, so he gets a 7 and 8 yard gain. Let's go down to John Scheidel. First report from the Dowling sideline on that quick kick on 3rd down by the Linn-Mar Lions. Johnny?
Yeah, Dowling's defense has gotten Linn-Mar out of their element. They don't want it. They need to stay ahead of the chains. They like to pound the football and do things. When you have 3rd and long like that, and they do the quick kick, which was smart on their part. But it's good to see Dowling's running game starting to get going here to start the second half.
All right, Middleton at tailback. He gets the handoff from quarterback Jackson Smolik, and he just follows his offensive line all the way down to the 15-yard line to pick up a 4 to bring up 2nd down and 6.
That run right there by Cam was, as much as you said, that was the offensive line, because the offensive line got that 5-yard push, and Cam Middleton, Colton Walter on the stop for the Linn-Mar Lions.
So a gain of 4. It's 2nd and 6. And again, they hand it off to Middleton. This time he wants to go right. The ball is
Ball
loose,
is out.
and no signal yet. And Dowling thinks they got it back, and
Yeah.
they did. So it'll bring up third down.
And, right there's a play where Cam didn't see anything, and he starts to slide to the right side, and that gets a little bit out of his game. And he's such a strong downhill runner. And fortunately for the Maroons, they got the ball back after the ball went on the ground.
Yeah, but not before a loss. 3-yard loss back to the 18-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 Dowling from the 18 of Linn-Mar. 3 receivers right, double tight end set, back to throw. Smolik has time, now has to run, and he's going to be brought down from behind, back at the 22-yard line. Jackson Smolik on the sack, and a nice job that time by Jackson Severson, the outside linebacker for Linn-Mar, on the sack.
Jackson Severson on a blitz from the right side of the defense, came around the backside. Jackson Smolik's rolling away opposite of him, and was able to chase him down from behind as they had good coverage back there. That was as much a coverage sack as it was a pressure sack, because he had time to throw it.
Well, the ball will be spotted, line of scrimmage of 21. This will be a 38-yard field goal for Diego Leon. Bad snap. Leon gets it there. Cataldo gets it down. The kick is blocked after the bad snap, and now I'll scramble for it, and it'll be piled up. And Linn-Mar will have the ball 1st and 10, probably their best field position at their own 37-yard line, as it was not a good snap. Cataldo did his best to get the ball down. The kick went off, but it was blocked, and Linn-Mar will take over 1st and 10 from their own 37.
It's one of those areas. Cataldo's done a good job at this, but that's where you miss Jake English right there. That is so critical, and that ball came out a little bit funky, and Cataldo didn't get it quite down. Now, typically in high school football, that ball gets brought back to the 25, I believe, right?
20.
Mark? 20. But since it was blocked, then it goes to the spot where the ball gets recovered, and that's 37.
So that's where Linn-Mar will have it, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And they'll work with a receiver on each side of the formation, 2 tight ends and 1 back in the backfield. And they'll toss it to him, and that's Henderson, Carter Henderson over the right side, trying to find some running room. And he's run out of bounds right about the 45-yard line of Linn-Mar. So that's not a bad gain of about 8 yards. Let's go down to John Chido on the Dowling sideline after that exchange there, Johnny.
Yeah, I had a great view of the kick there from behind, and it looks like Dante Cataldo had the ball. He had to look and then look back down to get the ball in the tee, and the ball slipped as the ball went placed back on the tee, and it was good on their part to be able to recover that, and not let Linn-Mar return that for what could have been some points. But I see Linn-Mar is running away from Jalen Pettis.
It must be an audible every time they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's a toss play to the left side, and now Henderson wants to turn the corner, and he's hit, and now he stood up, and a bunch of maroon jerseys all around him, Dowling in their home maroon jerseys, white pants, white helmet, and Linn-Mar in their visiting white uniforms with a red helmet and red numbers. And that was all Maroons in that backfield, Matt, as the ball is placed back at the 43-yard line, loss of 1.
They did that time run towards Pettis, but they had a block down on him, so they were able to wash him down the line of scrimmage, but that freed up the alley for the linebackers to get to it and flow over the top, and allowed Townsend to get the stop.
Carter Henderson, tough going there for the young man. Basketball, track, and football for Linn-Mar. Out of the I formation, handoff right side, and that is to Carter Henderson again with the fullback blocking, and he gets up to the 45-yard line. It'd be shy of the first down. And it'll bring up 4th and about 2 for the Linn-Mar Lions.
4th and 2, and this is an interesting call for Coach Lovell right here, and he doesn't hesitate. He sends the punt team out, and you don't want to give the ball up here to the Maroons, but a little bit tempting at midfield, but he is the quarterback.
Yeah, that is the left-footed quarterback, right-handed thrower, left-footed kicker, and that is McCade Jelinek, the 6-foot senior, back at his own 32. They fake it.
That is the fake.
They center it to the up man, and he's hit and driven down right at the line of scrimmage.
They give him a heck of a spot.
And that is Mac Watts got the snap.
Yeah, Matt. But they give him a spot that he bounced forward, and they're going to give him a spot 2 yards.
They're going to move. They're going to
give him a first down.
No, they're measuring.
They're going to measure it. Yeah,
and he's probably got it based on where that chain was. Yeah, I think he's got it by 6 inches.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got the first down. But
so Dowling fans and coaching staff, I'm sure, right around the ball, saying that wasn't the right spot, and I thought he was brought down right at the 45. They're going to put it up to 47. John Schauder, you're on the Dowling sideline.
Yeah, that it's a favorable spot, and it was when he got hit forward, but his knees were down. But they spotted the ball about a half yard ahead of where his knee was down. But nice little play call there on the fake punt for Linn-Mar.
Yeah, it certainly was, and that was one of the Watts brothers. It was I think it was Mac Watts, the right guard, who ended up getting the snap, and he was the one that was tripped up. And yeah, he got a favorable spot, but first down Linn-Mar at their own 47-yard line as they get a 2-yard gain by the offensive lineman.
Yeah, the first contact on that came at least 3 yards short of the first down, and he rambled forward and give the young man credit, got the first down.
So 1st and 10, Linn-Mar, 4:45 remaining, third quarter. Dowling leading 24-7. The give is to the tailback, Carter Henderson, and he goes up over center and across midfield down into the Dowling 46-yard line, just dragging tacklers, Carter Henderson. And on the offensive line for Linn-Mar making a presence here in this drive.
They're sending a message right there as Adam Townsend and Joe Hughes from their linebacker positions were able to get him stopped up eventually, but the first point of contact was 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
So a gain of 7 for Henderson, and it's 2nd and 3. Jelinek at quarterback, I formation with 2 receivers to the right. Back handoff is to Henderson left side, and he stood up, and he's dropped right there as he runs right into Cody Hikas at the inside the 45 of Dowling down to the 43.
And that's going to be a first down. They're going to move the chains, or they're going to come out and measure that one. No, they're going to move the chains. So another first down for Linn-Mar. Kellen Shimon on the stop there, along with Hikas for the Maroon defense.
Dowling up 24-7. We're under 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Game clock is running. Again, we started the night with very cool temperatures after having 2 days of rain. We're on a turf field here where Grandview University, the 4th-ranked team in NAIA football, play their home games. They're home tomorrow at noon, and pretty good night for football. Handoff Henderson again, spins out of a tackle, and he's finally stood up at the 40-yard line. He'll gain 3, and I'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and Henderson here, again, is starting to show how he got 1,085 yards on the year. You know, he carries the ball. He carried the ball 128 times for him, and he is the workhorse, and over 1,000 yards, you get it on tough runs like that one right there over the left side.
Yeah, pretty simple football. You run the I formation, bring that fullback in, couple receivers to the right, and you move your tight end around. This time they're going 4 wide, 2 on each side of the formation for Linn-Mar. Henderson stays in the backfield, and the quarterback, McCade Jelinek, out of the shotgun. Looks left, throws left, little flanker screen. Caught. That's Cam Gunther, who we haven't heard much from, and he's in the secondary, and finally hogtied down at the 20-yard line of Dowling. They'll give him forward progress inside the 20 to the 18.
Blake Anderson on the stop, and a great, well-designed play on that screen there, that slip screen to the split end. They send Henderson in motion to the right, so they end up empty, and run the screen out to the left side. Effective play, got the block sealed up, and a big play for the Lions.
22-yard reception that time from quarterback McCade Jelinek to Cam Gunther. First down, Linn-Mar at the Dowling 18. Here's a pass and a little quick pass to the right side, and it's underthrown but caught by Gavin Johnson, they say, for a short gain down near the 21-yard line.
It might have been, well, they're actually going to make it for a loss of
They did.
3.
They spot him for the loss.
That's he caught the ball and right on the turf and is for loss as the Dowling defense was right there to make the play.
Loss of 3 as the ball's moved back to the 21-yard line. I'll bring up 2nd down and 13 for Linn-Mar. 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Dowling leading 24-7 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandry, John Schott, and we have a timeout called by Linn-Mar. So we'll take a 1-minute break and return with Dowling leading 24-7. Minute 54 left in the third quarter here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Weekdays at 5 p.m., it's Catholic Answers, a live call-in program to offer Catholics and non-Catholics a chance to talk with world-class apologists and theologians. Catholic Answers, live on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, connecting listeners with Christ.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium out of the timeout called by Linn-Mar. It's 2nd and 13, Linn-Mar from the Dowling 21. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido. Linn-Mar works out of the I formation. Jelinek back to throw, throws towards the end zone, and the pass is caught. Gunther out, leaps his defender, touchdown on the near corner by Linn-Mar of Marion as he outleaped the defender. Cam Gunther did, the 6'1", 180-pound senior.
Great athletic play by him as the ball was laid out there by Jelinek, and good coverage by the Maroons. I believe that was in coverage. Cooper, no, it wasn't Cooper Nicholson, but anyway, we had coverage out there, and but Gunther went up and got it, wins the battle, touchdown, Lions.
And now they'll run the swinging gate, and they'll keep it as the quarterback in this formation throws it to the near side, and it's no good. As the pass is caught, that was T.J. Jackson, who had the ball snapped to him. He had a left-handed throw to the right of the formation. It was caught, and the receiver was run out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So the 2-point conversion is no good. It's 24-13. Dowling with the lead over Linn-Mar of Marion with 1:46 remaining third quarter. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Why should I save myself for marriage?
On February 14th, 1992, I held 23 Punch-Out Sesame Street Valentines, and one Valentine starring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I couldn't wait to give it to the one woman, girl, in my entire kindergarten class who I thought was special enough to receive it. Believe it or not, the gift of yourself is infinitely more precious than a Ninja Turtles Valentine, and it should be saved for more than just someone special who I love so much. When you give yourself to your husband or wife in marriage, you love like Christ, who gave his body up to sanctify his bride in a new covenant. In the same way, sex is only loving when it is a living out of the covenant of marriage. Otherwise, it's just lust. And so the more time you spend with Jesus, who is love and invented marriage, the more the beauty of sex will appeal to you, and the more the empty glamour of lust won't. For more, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
Hey, we're back here at Williams Stadium after the kickoff by Linn-Mar, and it's a short kick fielded by Dowling. They return it up across the 35-yard line. That's where they'll be after Linn-Mar goes 10 plays, 57 yards, capped off by quarterback Jelinek, McKay Jelinek, on a 21-yard touchdown pass to Cam Gunther. The 2-point conversion pass failed as 24-13. Dowling with the lead. Let's go down to John Chido. You're on the Dowling sideline, and Johnny, give us an update.
The fake punt paid off, allowed to a Linn-Mar score, and that was a great catch by the Linn-Mar receiver there to end the drive for the Linn-Mar Marion.
Yeah, it certainly was, and now Dowling back to action as they have the football as they start from their own 38-yard line here, Matt.
Give credit to that defensive front right now for Linn-Mar. Watts, Waller, Gaffney, and Roskop, they are making it tough to run in between the tackles where Dowling likes to take that zone offense and make some yardage, and no yardage there for C.J. Phillip.
Going to bring up second. They give him 2, 2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. Jackson Smolik in at quarterback, fires it out, pass is caught in the slot up to midfield, first down Maroons, and I'll tell you what, Jackson had his decision of who does he want to throw it to, and that was Bliss on the reception.
Yeah, he got it out there in a hurry, and I think you see these personnel groupings running in and out right now, and I got to believe you're going to see Dowling stay a little up-tempo here. 1 minute left in the quarter, but they've got to get some momentum going back in this offense.
11-yard catch for Bliss. First down Dowling at the Linn-Mar 49. And the quarterback is Smolik out of the shotgun. Back to throw, and he throws a missile into the end zone, and he overthrew everybody. Carson Brown was the leading receiver as he was leading the charge. The defensive back was right on him, and I'll tell you what, he had the wind at his back there, and it showed.
He overthrew Carson by about 10 yards right there, and Carson was at a full sprint headed down the field, but Jackson saw him, and Carson did have a couple steps on him, and just overthrew him a little
That'll
bit.
stop the clock with 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And of course, that's 39 seconds that Dowling has the wind at their back. It was a north wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour when we started the game here in Des Moines. And now Smolik back to throw, reads the tailback, and he overthrew his intended receiver, Cooper Nicholson, at the 35-yard line. He aired that one out, too. That stops the clock with 34 seconds. Unfortunately for Dowling, it's 3rd and 10 from the Linn-Mar 49.
Dowling taking a couple shots while they have the wind at their back there, throwing it down the field, and the Smoliks had been much more effective when he's been taking those short ones and throwing it with that strike motion. He can hit that receiver in a hurry and put a little too much air into those last two passes.
Maroon's going 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Back to throw Smolik over the middle, and he overthrew Cooper Nicholson, who was open, but he couldn't get it over the linebacker. The pass is incomplete, and will force a 4th down play for Dowling with 32 seconds to play in the third quarter.
A quick possession there for the Maroons. Not much clock time went off there as they are going to punt the ball and turn it over here with a few seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, John Cole will come in to punt, averaging about 32 yards a punt for Dowling. He'll stand back at his own 37-yard line. Carson Hagan with the snap, and twin safeties back for Linn-Mar. And here's a good snap, good punt. Fair catch signal for it about the 12-yard line for Linn-Mar, and that's where they'll take over. 1st and 10 as we have 26 seconds remaining here in the third quarter as Cam Gunther on the fair catch. We'll go down to the Dowling sideline. The Maroons lead it 24-13 over Linn-Mar here in the final seconds of the third quarter. John Chattel, give us an update.
Well, Jackson had some receivers pretty wide open. Carson Brown, the first one, had his defender beat by about 4 steps, and then Cooper Nicholson there in the middle of the field. I think Jackson is throwing the ball just a tad sooner than he wants to. He's got a guy both times in his face there at the end, and he's just putting a little bit too much on the football. And I saw Coach Wilson there just trying to settle him down a little bit as he come off the sideline.
Well, Linn-Mar now will start deep in their own territory. First down, Lions at their own 13-yard line, and they've dug out of this hole in their last possession where they scored. And now the quarterback, Jelinek, being chased again and throws against the grain. Pass is incomplete. He was rolling to his left, and the right-hander threw it, and that did not look good, and it almost intercepted as about 4 maroon shirts were surrounding the intended receiver, Cam Gunther.
Matabrua there was chasing him down from the backside and giving him a run for his money, but he kept the football up and had a shot, but made a wise decision in kind of throwing it in the ground towards his receiver.
As he was outside the tackle box.
Correct.
So it wasn't intentional grounding. So it stops the clock with 20 seconds to play, third quarter. Dowling 24, Linn-Mar 13 here in Williams Stadium in Des Moines. It'll be 2nd and 10, Linn-Mar from their own 13. Back to throw is Jelinek, and he fires it to the far sideline right in front of his bench. The pass is incomplete, and that'll force a 3rd and 10. So both quarterbacks coming up empty. We haven't had a reception since the touchdown by Gunther from quarterback Jelinek for Linn-Mar.
No, and at that time the protection that the offensive line gave Jelinek was really good. And he had time to throw the ball, had a clean pocket as he rolled out. He had space and just threw it a little too far to the edge there to have his receiver catch it in bounds.
All right, 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 3rd and 10. Linn-Mar from their own 13-yard line. Here's Jelinek back to throw. The pocket collapses. He wants to run. Now he runs to his right, fires across his body. The ball is tipped and is it intercepted? Incomplete, the referee says. Incomplete, but it was tipped in the air, and there's about several Maroons, including Adam Townsend, around the football.
He escaped the pocket, flushed him to the right side, made a nice play to keep his eyes down the field looking, but it's one of those things they always say, don't throw the ball back across the middle. And there's just too much garbage in between you and the receiver, and the ball gets tipped, and fortunately for Linn-Mar, fell incomplete.
All right, Blake Anderson and Cooper Nicholson back deep for Dowling. And here's the punt by McKay Jelinek, the quarterback turned punter, and it's fielded by Anderson inside the 30, and he's finally tripped up at the 25-yard line. Tremendous return, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter with the score. It's Dowling 24, Linn-Mar of Marion 13 at the end of 3 quarters of play here in Des Moines. Back with the fourth quarter in the Class 5A football playoffs here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines as we start the fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10 Dowling from the Linn-Mar 25-yard line after that punt and return. And we've got an immediate timeout to start the fourth quarter. We'll keep it here with Dowling leading 24-13. And the Maroons have just used their first timeout of the second half. And, Matt, we've got to look at some scores before we go down to Johnny Chido.
We got a few scores here, a couple updates. Iowa City High pulling ahead of Urbandale late in the second quarter, 27-7. Valley up late in the third quarter, 28-7 over Centennial, and Ankeny pulling away from Waukee Northwest, 28-3. I believe that's about the start of the fourth quarter. Thanks to Jeff Piggott back in the station for keeping us updated on these scores.
Absolutely. Let's go down to John Chido during this timeout. Johnny?
Well, Coach Wilson didn't like the way they lined up, and you hate to see him waste a timeout there right at the switch of the quarter and come out and not be in the right alignment or right personnel in the ball game. But Dowling's offense needs to get something going. Linn-Mar defense has played great this second half. The Maroons haven't put up any points here yet.
All right, here is a handoff. Townsend back in the as tailback, one of the three tailbacks Dowling's used. He gets the handoff from Smolik, and he may have lost, or no gain on the play they'll call it, maybe a half-yard loss. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 Maroons.
2nd and 10, and I believe that was, again, Clayton Musnick on the stop for the Linn-Mar defense.
All right, 2nd and 10 Dowling. Here's Smolik back to throw with 5 receivers. Has plenty of time, and wants to run. Now he throws it out, and the pass is caught. And nice catch that time by Bo Gamble. And he gets down the near sideline. They're going to spot him tiptoeing out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A pickup of big yardage there.
There's
My
a
goodness.
flag on the play, though. I think this is going to come back.
Well, that negates the gain by Gamble of 19 yards due to the penalty.
They were waiting for the signal, but we believe it is holding.
Well, he had a lot of time to throw the ball, did Jackson Smolik, as the Dowling offensive line gave him plenty of time. We don't have the officials' mic tonight, so we can't identify the number and the penalty, but they're marching off the yardage. Kyle Rockers, Cade Batterton, Ryan Badgen-Stoss, Gabe Carey, and George Nahas, left tackle to right tackle for Dowling. 2 tight ends, Jalen Thompson and Drew Winget. And the fullbacks are Cade Gokenauer and Caden Sanders for Dowling Catholic. And that moves the ball back to the 41-yard line. And they'll bring up 3rd and 26. Back to throw Smolik. Fires towards the end zone. He's got Cooper Nicholson. The pass is incomplete. He collided with the safety inside the 10-yard line. But Cooper had eyes for the end zone,
yes,
but the safety saved the day there.
He did, and it was back in coverage, Cam Gunther back there, and you had 2 athletes going at that football, and Gunther saw Nicholson coming, but Nicholson didn't see Gunther, and both of them collided as the ball got there, and it falls incomplete. So we got 3rd and a bunch.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 26. Now it's 3rd and 26. The Maroons are going with 4 receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Dowling right to left into the wind here towards the north end zone. They throw out the little tailback screen, and it's caught by Adam Townsend, but they had that well-read, did Linn-Mar, and he's dropped at the 42-yard line.
Clayton Musinski again on the stop as he's having a heck of a night for Linn-Mar. And he was out there and sniffed that screen out and was able to make the stop for another loss on the play.
Loss of 1 to bring up 4th down, and Colin to punt for Dowling as the line of scrimmage is pushed back to the Linn-Mar 42-yard line. 10:45 remaining, fourth quarter. Dowling leading 24-13. Cole gets the punt off. It's a high spirally kick. Fair catch signal for at the 10-yard line by Linn-Mar, and that's where they'll have it. A nice job that time by Cam Gunther. That'll be 1st and 10. Linn-Mar Lions right around the, they're going to call it the 11-yard line with 10:36 remaining. Fourth quarter, it's still a ball game. 24-13, Dowling with the lead. And let's go down the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido is at, Johnny.
Well, we got to give credit to Linn-Mar's defense. They've played a fantastic second half up to this point. And Dowling's offense has been very complacent. And now it's kind of reversed situations where Dowling's offense was on the field a lot in the first half. Now Linn-Mar's offense has been on the field a lot during this second half. And, you know, with 24 to 13, this ball game's not even close to being over yet.
Yeah, no question about that, John. And it's first down Linn-Mar from their own 11-yard line as Jelinek in at quarterback once again. And he gives the tailback, and that's Henderson, and he has nowhere to run. Tried to find a seam. Left guard, A gap, nothing. B gap, nothing. And he's hit and dropped for maybe a loss of 1. Back to be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11, and Hagen and Seamer on the stop for the Dowling defense. As right now, you have Hagen in there, you have Cody Heikus in there, you have Jalen Pettis in there, and I believe it's Matabrua on the other side. So this front's going to give him make that offensive line work.
So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Linn-Mar. They go left to right, north to south here. Back to throw is Jelinek, and he's got pressure. He fires the ball off, and the pass is deflected, incomplete. And he threw that kind of into a crowd as he rolled to his left and had 1 receiver over there and couldn't get it to him.
That was a desperation toss right there because he had all 3 of them. It might have been all 4 of them, Heikus, Pettis, and Brua and Hagen chasing him down as he was rolling out to his left side. And now Jelinek is over there talking to Coach, getting the play, and coming back in on his 3rd and 11.
We'd like to thank Ashworth Vision Center, along with construction professionals, dental associates, and Kemen for supporting our broadcast all season long here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. All right, 3rd and 11 for Linn-Mar. Back on their own 10-yard line. They go 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw Jelinek, fires it out in the flat, left side, caught. And up to the 16-yard line is where the receiver goes down. It'll bring up 4th and long, and they just got something so they wouldn't be at the shadows of the end zone. Yeah. A nice catch that time by Gunther.
Try to create a crease, and Adam Townsend said that's not going to happen on my watch. And so they get this quick swing pass out there. Pretty safe. You know, it's a safe pass to make, and got a couple positive yards, but still short.
16-yard gain. Or 6-yard gain, and it brings up 4th and 5, and now the punt by Jelinek. And it's fielded by Cooper Nicholson at the 47. Return is left. Cooper at the 40, at the 30. Down the near sideline, he may go. He's inside the 15, inside the 10. 1 man to beat, and finally run out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Dowling from there, and that may spark the Dowling offense.
That may spark the, well, it's hard not to be sparked when you're at the 1 yard. They're going to put them out to 4.
Yeah.
And your first look is to go back. Is there any laundry on the field?
That's your job to find.
And it's a clean field, and so the ball gets spotted at the 4-yard line for the Maroon offense.
It'll be 1st and goal Dowling. As you mentioned, they spotted just inside the 5 at the 4-yard line with 8:58 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 24, Linn-Mar 13. The Maroons led at halftime, 24-7, and Linn-Mar's got the only score thus far here in the second half. Smolik, they give the tailback, and that's Middleton, and Cam pushes his way towards the goal line, stopped at about the 1 or 2 yard line. They'll bring up 2nd and goal from there.
He gets it down there inside into the 1. It's Ryan Martin on the bottom of the pile as he gets up, along with Keaton Rosskamp and company there as the offensive line gets a strong push there for Cam.
Yeah, he went over to the left side where Cade Batterton, the left guard, Ryan Badgenstas, the center, and Kyle Rockers, a sophomore left tackle, pushing his way towards the goal line. Maroons now with 2 tight ends. They'll go 1 back, and that's Middleton. 1 receiver to the far right of the formation. Here's the snap, give to Cam, and he hops a tackle, dives to the end zone, touchdown. Cam Middleton right over left guard and tackle, scores for Dowling. That's the Maroons' first score of the second half, and then improves their lead to 30-13 over Linn-Mar, pending the extra point here, Matt.
Good strong run there by Cam as he slid down the line of scrimmage looking for the crease, and he found it and dove over for a touchdown. And And we credit that touchdown to Cooper Nicholson. Great return.
Absolutely.
And he had Blake Anderson leading him on that return and set up this touchdown.
Well, Middleton's first touchdown of the night, and here's Diego Leon with the extra point. It's good on the hold by Cataldo and the snap by Hagen. 8:11 remaining, fourth quarter. It's Dowling now 31-13 over Linn-Mar. We'll be back with the kickoff after this timeout here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium on the Dowling kickoff. They punch it to about the 20-yard line, and the ball got loose, and Linn-Mar came on top of it. So the Linn-Mar Lions will have it 1st and 10, about the 13-yard line after that ball got punched loose. The Maroons now on Cooper Nicholson's punt return inside the 5. They went 2 plays, 4 yards, capped off by a Cam Middleton 2-yard run. Diego Leon extra point is good, and Dowling leading 31-13 with 8:10 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where John Chido is at. Johnny?
Well, special teams has been a factor, and the punt returns have created great field position for Dowling's offense. That once in the first half, or a couple times in the first half on great punt returns, and then Cooper Nicholson put them in great field position to capitalize for 7 points.
Yeah, Linn-Mar first down from their own 13-yard line, and the quarterback, Jelinek, back to throw, and he's going to be thrown down into the end zone, but they're going to say forward progress to the 3-yard line or so. So tough going there for the Lions.
Carson Hagen wrestled him down at about the 2. I mean, Jelinek is just running for his life back there right now. He's got very little time to set up and throw the ball down the field, and for a team that's trying to move the ball in big chunks, he's not getting the time to do it right now.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage was a 14 that moves all the way back to the 3. So it's 2nd and about 20. And now Jelinek from the end zone. The ball is tipped and almost intercepted right there at the 5-yard line as the Dowling defensive lineman, couldn't really run under it. Yeah. They don't really do that. They have more strength, but nearly picked off.
That ball gets tipped back there, and I couldn't tell who tipped it, but I could see that Carson Hagen saw that football get the size of a beach ball, and he goes, I just want this thing, every defensive lineman's dream, catch it and run it into the end zone.
Yeah, a pick 6 for one of the big guys. So it's 3rd and 20, they call it, back at the 3-yard line, and now Jelinek, a pass that is caught. Nice job at the 20-yard line. He'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down. I think that's Gunther again on the reception. And they just kind of found him in a seam, and it'll bring up 4th down, 4th and about 4 for Linn-Mar.
That was a real good play by Jelinek and Gunther. Good connection right over the middle. Found that soft spot in front of the safeties in the middle of that zone, and great connection. Big pickup for them to create this 4th and short, and 6:50 to go. You're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
Here you go.
So 4th and 4 from the Linn-Mar 20. They'll line up 2 receivers left. Now a man in motion. Now a timeout called by head coach Tim Lovell in his first year, his 6th year overall. And we'll take a break with 6:46 remaining here in the fourth quarter. It's Dowling 31, Linn-Mar 13 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Monday through Friday at 3 p.m., it's Cresta in the Afternoon. Speaker and author Al Cresta looks at life through the lens of Scripture and the teaching of the Catholic Church, providing conversation about the things that matter most. Cresta in the Afternoon on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
All right, we're back here at Williams Stadium. Linn-Mar going for it. 4th and 3 from their own 20-yard line. And unless they do a quick kick here, Matt Maindring, this will be maybe the ball game right here, and they're going to go for it. Here's a quick pass, picked off by Dowling, and that'll do it. Intercepted as the ball went to the right of the formation. It was picked off by Joe Hughes.
Joe Hughes read that play from the start, stepped in front, saw the running back coming out of the backfield, and he stepped right in the passing lane and picked it off. Maroon football at the 15.
So Joe Hughes with the interception, and John Chido, that may do it. As 6:41 remaining in the fourth quarter, Dowling up 31-13. Dowling will take over at the 16-yard line of Linn-Mar, and Joe Hughes was dialed in there.
Yeah, they saw the man come in motion, and Joe widened out, and he's got hook to curl. He's got the flat responsibility, and he just dropped right in the zone, the passing lane, and made a nice pick there for the Maroons.
So Dowling will start with Dante Cataldo in at quarterback, and he's going to run it, keeps it for the touchdown. He went around right in, did a lot of misdirection, if you will, and figured out which hole he went around. He went around right in, and he got in for the score from 16 yards out. So Cataldo with his second touchdown of the night.
Second touchdown of the night for them, and Cataldo, nice play action. And credit C.J. Phillip, because he carried that fake out all the way through the line. And as Cataldo does a good job of hiding that football, and around the end he goes for the score.
So the extra point now, let's see if this will be David Robertson for the extra point. Cataldo stays in the hold. Hagan with the snap, ball down. The kick is up, almost blocked, but it's good. And the score now is 38-13, Dowling with the lead over Linn-Mar with 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Back with more from the Class 5A first-round playoffs here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
What is the first reflex thought that we find in sacred scripture of God? Not the first description of him creating the world, but the first thought that he has about himself. Open Genesis and you will find it. Let us make man. Think of it. As if God could not exist without man. God does not need man to complete himself, to fulfill a need, but he needs man as a kind of a gift. He must have someone to whom he can show his love. The first monologue that we touch in sacred scripture is the monologue of God thinking about man. And what are the first dialogues in scripture? The first question in scripture is God saying to man, Adam, where art thou?
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium on the kickoff, and it'll be Linn-Mar football as Dowling kicks off at the 21-yard line with 6:33 remaining. Dowling leading 38-13 here in the fourth quarter as Dante Cataldo on a 16-yard run. And the extra point by David Roberts was good. And let's go down to John Chido. How about that, John? Pretty efficient on the offense when they were held scoreless until a punt return, and now a great field position. They have scored a couple touchdowns as a Dowling offense.
Yeah, great read by Dante Cataldo. They went to twins, and Linn-Mar brought an extra corner over away from where Dante ran, and the end crashed and read it and kept it and ran around the right side for the touchdown.
Yep, they sure did. And now the hook and lateral here back in your day. I haven't seen that in a while by Linn-Mar, but they throw it out of bounds on the last lateral. It went out of bounds inside the 30 of Linn-Mar.
That was a double ladder.
Yes, it
so
was.
It was they did the hook and ladder, and then they did it again. And it was complete to the first guy, and the next guy threw it out of bounds.
You work on that a lot in practice,
No,
Coach?
nope. A lot of other plays.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That
right.
Tried the art of deception.
Yes, indeed. And now here is a pass play, and it's near side, incomplete. The intended receiver that time for Linn-Mar was Jack Robertson after, once again, Jelinek running for his life. And that pass is incomplete.
Jared Rickey breaks that play up at the point of attack there and was able to knock the ball away and create the third and short.
The line of scrimmage is the 28-yard line. That hook and lateral went for 7 yards on the hook and double lateral, I should say. That pass is incomplete. So from the 28-yard line, it's 3rd and 3. Linn-Mar, here's Jelinek, and he gives it to his tailback, and Carter Henderson is not fooling anybody. That was like a delayed draw, if you will, out of the shotgun, and Henderson goes down after he caught it back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose 5.
It really appeared like that was kind of a mixed-up play in the backfield because it was an inside handoff that did look like a draw, but it was just a little bit messy in the backfield. And Linn-Mar is going to line up to punt this one.
Yeah, they're going to keep their quarterback as the punter. Last time they did this in the fake punt, they centered the ball to the up man, and now he does get the ball away, and it drives Cooper Nicholson back
punt.
and takes a Linn-Mar bounce inside the 30. Cooper won't pick it up, and it'll roll inside the 15 to the 14. That's where the Dowling offense will start, 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. A lot of scores, Matt, we can get our listeners caught up with that we have thus far. We're getting them in from different media sources, but here it's 38-13 Dowling with the lead over Linn-Mar with 5:31 left in the fourth quarter. Give us some others, Coach.
Well, it looks like, that as Jeff pointed out back in the station, that they kind of got the RPIs. Looked like they got them right because we got a lot of
one-sided
games. Southeast Polk up on Johnson 57-7, and Valley was up. I believe the last score I got out of there was 28-7. Iowa City High running away from Urbandale right now, and 28-3 Ankeny over Waukee Northwest. We'll wait on a couple other scores there as well.
And in Eastern Iowa, Cedar Rapids Kennedy at home tonight. They lead 21-3 here over Dubuque Senior in the fourth quarter. So you can add that one to your list, Coach.
All right, we got it. 34-7 Iowa City High over Urbandale, and that one started late, so that game is about a quarter behind us.
Yeah, they had transportation problems. We've seen that this year. We've been involved with a couple of them. And now Urbandale had trouble going to Eastern Iowa tonight. They had a little delay, and that's why the game started. But they got there safe, and that's what counts. Dowling back to their end zone, and Cataldo a handoff, and right up the gut goes the tailback. And it's a matter of which one it is. He's fighting for yards. It's 30
Phillip
at the 40-yard line. So Phillip all the way up to the 40-yard line. A 26-yard run for CJ. Right off right guard and tackle. How about that?
Yeah, he shot through there, and that's really the first time tonight he's been able to shoot up through the line of scrimmage at full speed, and he blasted through there and exploded through the defense for a big gain.
26-yard run for C.J. Phillip as the line of scrimmage was the 14. First down, Dowling at their own 40. Pistol formation, Cataldo at quarterback, and again up the gut it goes. C.J. Phillip, and he carries the ball up to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line, gain of 3 or 4.
Running right into the heart of the behind that offensive line as they continue to make some holes up front there. And I'm trying to figure out here as I get a look at our numbers again. They've rotated some of those guys out there, but it's still Rockers, Batterton, Bagintosh, Carey, and Nahas in.
Yeah, different receivers now as Danny Nielsen in as one receiver on the right side, the read option, and the give is to C.J. Phillip, and he gets up near the 45-yard line for a short gain. Maroon's just trying to grind the clock, keeps running, 4 minutes, 10 seconds and counting here in the fourth quarter, and Dowling leading 38-13.
And now that you're looking at that clock and just trying to keep winding it as much as possible. Cataldo, Phillip in there with the offensive line, trying to make some holes and extend this drive.
Michael Reichart and Hank Brown as receiver, back to throw Cataldo. He fires it out, throws behind his receiver, and the pass is caught. Yeah. Nice pass reception that time, Michael Reichart. He had a concussion earlier in the year, didn't suit for several games. He makes a nice back shoulder catch as he had to come back for the football into Linn-Mar territory at the Lion 47.
That was an outstanding catch, and Cataldo threw that thing on a line right, as you said, to his back shoulder, and nice catch to keep the drive alive.
Certainly was. That play goes for 8 yards and a Dowling first down. It was a quick slant as Reichart was the receiver on the right slot. And a quick slant, and I'll hand off up the gut, and let's see, who is that? Is that Phillip?
Phillip back there with Crutchlow at the fullback spot, and Phillip was able to squirm through there, and a great push by that front. Gets about 6-7 on that gain.
Yeah, we'll give him 6 down to the 41 of Linn-Mar. And I'll bring up second down. Let's see, first down. What are they going to call? Second down. Board has first down, but it's second down and 4.
It made me think here. I see JR on the sideline right there fixing the helmet, and Michelle was all worried that we were a little hard on JR last year. We love JR down there, don't we?
So people heard that last week, huh?
Well, I don't know.
JR, I got a phone call from him tonight. He was on the field, so I didn't go down. I just stayed up here. Hand off to Phillip up the gut, and he gets inside the 40, and he's down to the Linn-Mar 38-yard line and pick up a 3. Yeah, that didn't go well. I wanted to, make sure Fred at home was listening to.
Did Michelle find you?
No, I didn't.
No.
I had security when I was out there yesterday with you. I had to go around the chapel, but. I heard JR was not happy, and I asked, does he still have his handcuffs? And I heard yes, and I said, I'm not going to go near him. I know what's up. He thought I threw him under the bus last week because Fred was gone, and comments from the sideline, it wasn't as efficient, and JR took exception to that. And now here's Linn-Mar gang tackling as a handoff to Phillip, and he's backed up to the 38-yard line. He'll lose a yard.
Going to be a little bit short on that run right there, and so it's a 4th and 1. Short one, and Dowling keeps the offense on the field as we've ticked down to 1:35 left in the game.
Jack Moore checks in at tailback. Maroons will be backed up a yard. They lose a yard back to the 38-yard line. It's 4th and 1, as you mentioned. Cataldo with the pistol formation, 2 receivers left. Here's a snap, and Dante's going to run it. Near side, catches the left end. He's got the first down and more inside the 30, and he's finally brought down at the Linn-Mar 25-yard line. And that'll be a 13-yard gain on 4th down. How about that?
That'll be the game ender now as the Dowling offense can go in and probably will take a knee here as Jake Anderson, or not Jake Anderson, the stop for Linn-Mar was made by Gavin Johnston there.
How about that, John Chido? 4th and 1, and the quarterback, a little end around on the left side and tucked it upfield, kept the clock running.
Yeah, you can see the speed of Dante Cataldo, and he brings that extra element, being able to run as well as he does at the quarterback position.
He certainly does, Johnny. Jack Moore now with the handoff, and we're under a minute to play. Dowling leading 38-13 here in the fourth quarter. And stick around on the post-game show. John Chido will catch up with Dowling Catholic head football coach Tom Wilson, and we may have a player or two in the playoff post-game show. I like that. The Maroons will advance to the second round, and they will be playing at Southeast Polk, as Southeast Polk well ahead of Johnson tonight. And so it'll be a rematch of Week 1, Dowling at Southeast Polk next Friday night.
Here's the last snap of the ball game.
And the Jack Jepson in at quarterback, number 18, and he gives it to his tailback, and that'll do it as he is hit and smothered under, and that was Jack Moore. So the Dowling will win it. That'll be the final play of the game. 38-13 the final, as the Maroons now improve to 7-3 on the year. And a great year for Linn-Mar. They conclude their season with a record of 7-3. And a great job by the Linn-Mar staff. And, of course, what a year they had under first-year head coach Tim Lovell, who didn't have to go far. Coach Lovell went from Marion to Linn-Mar High School and has been teaching at Linn-Mar all these years. But they conclude their season, number 10 ranking, number 9 seed. They conclude their season with a record of 7-3, and Dowling improves to 7-3. Matt?
And, you got to give credit to their kids. They had a lot of kids going both ways, and it showed the training and the shape that those kids were in because they battled. And it wasn't until about the middle of the fourth quarter here that things started to turn, and you could see that the Dowling team had wore them down a little bit. But those kids fought hard and really showed a lot of heart tonight. So credit to Coach Lovell and the Linn-Mar Lions. They had a great night.
All right, we're going to do our final game statistics as the crowd exits here at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. First time Dowling's been back here for a couple years. Of course, we had a COVID year in there where the playoffs were limited to where we could be at. But the Maroons win it, and they have now won their 6th straight game. And Dowling will now face a rematch with the number 1 seed in Class 5A, and that's the Southeast Polk Rams, next Friday night. And, Matt, it won't be 105 degrees heat index like we saw in Week 1 right after the State Fair in August.
Do you remember how that game ended, Mark?
Yeah, it was a Hail Mary at the last play of the ball game. I don't think they don't remember that. They, the team.
Yeah,
I don't think they don't remember that.
That was a heck of a ball game to kick the year off, and it'll be interesting to see how these teams have traveled through the year and where they're at now at this point. And it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, congratulations to head coach Tom Wilson and the Dowling football team for the win tonight, 38-13. Over the Linn-Mar Lions. Let's take a look at some of the numbers before we take our break and go to post-game show as John Chido lining up some interviews. The teams exchange handshakes, and let's take a look at the numbers tonight. Linn-Mar, total offense of 137 yards, Dowling with 381 yards of total offense. Maroons had 218 yards on the ground, 163 yards in the air. Linn-Mar, 85 yards passing and 52 yards rushing. Linn-Mar was penalized 3 times for 14 yards. Dowling 3 penalties for 34 yards. First downs, Linn-Mar with 6 and Dowling with 21. Quarterback Jackson Smolik for Dowling, 23 of 32 passing, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Dante Cataldo, 1-for-1 passing for 9 yards tonight. For Linn-Mar, their quarterback, McCade Jelinek, was 9 of 17 passing for 85 yards and a touchdown and 1 interception. Leading rusher for Dowling was Cam Middleton, 12 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. C.J. Phillip, 14 carries for 52 yards. Dante Cataldo, 3 carries for 30 yards and a pair of touchdowns tonight. Adam Townsend, 4 carries for 11 yards. For Linn-Mar of Marion, their leading ball carrier was Carter Henderson. He was over 1,000 yards coming into the contest. He finished with 18 carries, 94 yards, and the lone touchdown for the Linn-Mar Lions, and that was back in the first quarter from 56 yards out. And that's right, they had that one rush on 4th down. Mac Watts, 1 carry for 2 yards, enough for a first down and sustain a drive for the Lions. It ended up in a score. Cooper Nicholson was the leading receiver for Dowling, 8 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Carson Brown, 7 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Bo Gamble, 2 catches for 18 yards. Andrew Bliss, 2 catches for 15 yards. Jalen Thompson, the Dowling tight end, 2 catches for 12 yards. And Drew Winget, the other tight end, 1 catch for 9 yards. Michael Reichard, a catch for 9 yards. And Adam Townsend, 1 catch for -1 yard. For the Linn-Mar Lions, their leading receiver was Cam Gunther, 3 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Also, J.J. Traynor, 1 catch for 17 yards. Jack Robertson, 1 catch for 12 yards. And T.J. Jackson, 1 catch for 6 yards. And that'll be Carter Henderson, the final catch. He had 2 catches tonight for 3 yards out of the backfield for Linn-Mar. Again, final score, Dowling 38, Linn-Mar 13. The Maroons with 381 yards of total offense. For Linn-Mar, 137 yards of total offense. That'll complete the regulars, the first round of the playoffs. We'll go to the post-game show here in a moment, along with Matt Maindring and John Chido. I'm Mark Amadeo, and again, that sets up the final score once again. Dowling 38, Linn-Mar 13. The Maroons will face number 1 seed Southeast Polk next Friday night, and we'll have it here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. But until, stay tuned for the post-game coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
It's hard not to stress out about everything going on in your life. How am I going to pay this bill? What about the problems in my marriage? My kids failing a class, and the future. I'm not ready for the future. You ever notice that when you're in that headspace, you're a big mess? That's because there's no grace in that headspace. God is the God of now. He gives you the grace you need to deal with real life right now. He's not giving you the grace to deal with everything all at once because, guess what? You don't have to take on everything all at once. Life is lived one day at a time. Scripture says, God's word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. It doesn't say His word is a flashlight to see far down the road. Put one foot in front of the other and stay in the present. That's where God is. Stay there with Him, and you'll be in a place of grace. This is Chris Stefanik from reallifecatholic.com.
All right, we're back here at Williams Stadium. Final score in the Class 5A playoffs. It was Dowling 38, Linn-Mar of Marion 13, alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Let's go right down the field. John Chido has a couple of interviews with a defensive lineman and a wide receiver for Dowling Catholic. And Johnny, take it away with Cody Hikus and Carson Brown.
Cody, congratulations first and foremost on the victory tonight. You're one step closer to your guys' goal. Play each week at a time. But talk about going in this game, your game plan defensively, and the defensive line play. It seems like you and Rumley and Carson Hagen inside there, you get a lot of reps. You guys switch out, and you guys complement each other very well.
Yeah, kind of coming into this week, we decided that we were going to really rotate our guys in, keep legs fresh, and play hard, fast, and physical. We really worked on trying to keep contained and just working together.
You made a nice place down in this end zone here, especially. I think it was a sack complemented by a couple other big plays there. It's kind of a stretch of plays that were in a row there. Talk a little bit about that.
Really, I attribute it to the guys. I mean, that sack, it was impossible for me to make that without Pettis kind of keeping that quarterback in the pocket. We ran an excellent tango and a couple other plays. I mean, it was truly up to those guys, and I just finished the play for them.
Well, Cody, congratulations. Nice seeing you here. Good luck next week. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, John Chido with Cody Hikus, the junior defensive lineman for Dowling Catholic. Matt, you, I think, called his name a few times amongst some of the pile-ups and chasing Jelinek, that outstanding quarterback for Linn-Mar.
Yeah. He had one of his better nights tonight, Cody Hikus did. Is he got out there and was a disruptor much of the night for the Maroon defense. And we were worried about him because he went down at one point, I thought I remember, and came back and had an outstanding night.
He certainly did, and I know John is ready for his next interview as soon as he can get a hold of Carson Brown. Hope he's staying warm down there. Now, here comes all these offensive linemen, and, of course, they do the mosh pit when they come by. But Johnny's telling them to keep going, keep walking.
I'm trying to find Carson Brown. He was right here, and then he just disappeared on me. But
he probably got upgraded to the Des Moines Register, so you lost your shot there.
I guess, we're second class.
Yeah, well, you got to get in there. I mean, you got to fight like, come on, Coach. I mean, geez.
I'm trying to look. Oh, here he comes across the track. He's running to you now.
Yeah, he's running right at you, Johnny, from the 50-yard line. But, again, Dowling win it tonight, 38-13 over Linn-Mar of Marion. Dowling improves its record to 7-3. Linn-Mar closes out its season with a record of 7-3. Let's go back down to Johnny Chido with Carson Brown, who had a 7-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Smolik in the first half, and take it away.
Carson, congratulations on the victory tonight. The team effort, you guys played well. You started out well first half, and then Linn-Mar came right back, and then you guys took it from there in that first half, and then late in the second half, you guys got things going. Nice catch there about the end zone. Can you talk about that play a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. We were just running a little zero personnel, a bunch of wide receivers, and we just had one-on-one. We just made it happen.
Well, Jackson threw it in a tight window there, and it seemed like the defender was going to break on that, but you were able to step up to secure that catch.
Yeah, it was a great throw by Jackson. Great look, everything.
Special teams tonight as well. You had a nice lot of good punt returns. Able to put your offense in great field position to go short side of the field there.
Yeah, for sure. It was great. It was good to put the offense in a good position so we could have a good offensive drive.
Well, congratulations again on the nice victory, and best of luck next week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, is Pettis right there? Grab him for a moment. I want to know, is he actually hurt or is he just kind of faking it? What happened there, Johnny?
No, I don't think Jalen wasn't, Mark.
Okay.
I think he had the wrong number.
Of course. I always have the wrong number. Yeah, thanks for that. But go ahead and keep the interview up, Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying away from me. I got Coach Wilson.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll settle for the head coach of Dowling Catholic, Tom Wilson, on the win tonight, 38-13 over Linn-Mar. Take it away.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. One step closer in the playoffs. Great first half there. The second half started out a little slow. Linn-Mar got things going, and the special teams put you in great field position, short field, and you guys took advantage of it.
Oh, we did, and I thought we sputtered a little bit there in the second half, and as a coach that always drives you crazy. But at the end of the day, we did some good things. The special teams part that you mentioned, I felt we won, and we always talk about those things, and we beat a pretty good team, and obviously we've got a challenge ahead.
And Diego Leon had a nice kick there at the end of the half. You talked about that at halftime. It's a great weapon to have. And that hurry-up offense seemed like you guys were in rhythm and accomplished a lot of good things.
Well, it's something we practice all the time, and honestly, our kids were really relaxed, and we just talked about first downs, and Coop got out of bounds, which I thought was huge on the play on their boundary, and then we hit Winget in the middle of the field and got down there and spiked it, and then Diego came in there and made us look really good.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the victory, and best luck next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, John Chido on the Dowling on the field with Dowling players, and head coach Tom Wilson following the Maroons win tonight, 38-13 over Linn-Mar of Marion. Dowling improves its record to 7-3. And Linn-Mar closes out its season with a record of 7-3, but Dowling moves on, and they take on the number 1 seed in the Class 5A, district playoffs, whatever you want to call them, out of the pods. They will go to Southeast Polk next Friday night in a game we'll have here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And, Matt, we probably need to bring our coats instead of our shorts and a T-shirt like last time.
Yeah.
I wrote it down, 105 heat index when we kicked off at 7 o'clock back at the end of August.
If I remember right, these teams were ranked 1 and 2 to start the year, and so it's a great way to keep this season going is to have these two teams meet up again. You knew that, you felt that week 1 when you saw them battle in the play-ins on a Hail Mary pass, and so these two teams are going to meet again to go to the Dome, and you're going to have a very good team that doesn't make it there. So it'll be a dogfight out there next week, Friday night. A lot of fun, and supposed to stay cold next week. It's going to be pretty cool as the week goes on.
Yeah, nighttime temperature will be below freezing in the 20s, and I'm sure it'll be right around that. Hopefully, if the wind holds off like it did tonight, it kind of got pleasant. We say that because we're in the press box. And,
it's cold up here too,
but it was chilly. As somebody leaves the door open, it gets even worse. But that's just us. And I know we have a lot of people leaving and exiting tonight. So thanks to the crowd that came out tonight, not only for Linn-Mar of Marion, that little over 2-hour trip in northeast of Cedar Rapids, but also the Dowling fans that came out here, and they're in their cars right now trying to get warm and waiting to get out of the parking lot. Hats off to them, and there'll be one more playoff game. The final one outdoors for all the teams will be next week before everything heads to the Unidome for the semifinals. But you got to win outdoors to get indoors, man.
Yeah, you do. It's hard to believe that we're at that point in the season, and it's been a race, and what an exciting time for the Maroons right now, all across the board as we get into the heart of the football playoffs. We've got the volleyball team. First we should start with the state championship today for the cross-country team, and Jackson Heidi's taking first place, and the girls finishing 11th. Well, then Monday we've got Coach Wiskus taking the volleyball team to Cedar Rapids to face Cedar Falls, I believe, in that first-round matchup at 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. And then the girls swim, they go and they compete next week to go to state the week after. So just an exciting time of year. Yep,
Dowling volleyball team, they're the 5th seed, taking on 4th seed Cedar Falls, who they defeated during the tournament this year. And that'll be at 2 o'clock, as you mentioned, in Cedar Rapids on Court 1 at the arena there in Cedar Rapids. And you mentioned cross-country team, Jackson Heidi's medalist, first place. And then Will Ryan placing 7th and Tyler Schweitzer placing 9th, so 3 in the top 10. And they upset Sioux City North, who was a number 1 ranked team. Dowling was 2nd in boys cross country this year. That changed today for the first time after the Maroons have finished runner-up, I believe, 3 or 4 times. Coach Ives and the Dowling boys finished runner-up this year in meets with Sioux City North, but not today. So that 4th and 5th runner paid off.
Yeah, it did. They you're right. They got second to them all year long. And they got them when it counted at the state meet today. So congratulations to Coach Ives and the team. Just an outstanding day.
56 points for the Dowling cross-country team. Second place Sioux City North with 62, a 6-point difference, and another state title for Coach Ives. The Dowling girls finishing 11th. Congratulations to them. Just qualifying for state is enough, and then you try to move in and you hope the day goes well, and it wasn't probably the best conditions. Soggy out there on the flats.
Had to be soggy, yes.
All right, we'll take a break as Dowling wins it here, 38-13. We'll have final comments as the Maroons defeat Linn-Mar of Marion. John Chido's made his way up, and I can feel him shivering. I wonder what that means. Back with more here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. What great news for donors to the Catholic Tuition Organization. You now receive 75%. Yes, 75% of your donation back in Iowa tax credits beginning January 1st of this year. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. Best gift ever. Online, ctoiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Williams Stadium. As the stadium clears out, we will too on the post-game show following Dowling's win tonight over Linn-Mar of Marion, 38-13, as Dowling improves its record to 7-3, and that sets up the showdown next Friday night, as Dowling will be at the number 1 seed Southeast Polk Rams. Their record now 9-1 with the win over Johnson tonight, and that sets up Pod 1. And John Scheidel makes his way up. Are you warming up? You in all right?
It's a lot warmer here.
Oh yeah.
It's a little chilly. I mean, it's that chill. It's not, the wind died down, but it was that brisk chill. You can kind of feel winter coming a little early. I don't like that at all.
You don't look happy about this.
No.
John Henry, was it that cold out there? Or is he just pulling our leg? It was that cold. Oh, he's saying it. I break.
He's a lot tougher than I am.
Well, Halloween's tomorrow night, trick-or-treaters, and it might be a little nippy, but next Friday night we'll be at Southeast Polk. What would that be? Probably about an 80-degree swing in temperature from the end of August till the first week in November, and we're going to be there and facing the number 1 team. And, John, that presents a lot of challenges. We saw some things tonight that we haven't been exposed to. I thought that run by Linn-Mar of 56-yard by Henderson to start things off, and their second carry of the night was interesting because the Maroons had an injured player the play before, and that was Patton that got hurt, and then the next play, the touchdown happened.
Yeah, and it was just an off-tackle play and kind of an over-pursuit by our linebackers, and our backside linebackers got caught in the wash, and there you go. Henderson made a nice break of the interior line, and he was off to the races, and you're going to have Titus Christensen to deal with next week. And, he's going to be a handful. Yeah,
well, you mentioned Carter Henderson. That was his lone touchdown tonight at 56 yards, and then Gunther with the other catch for Linn-Mar on a 21-yard pass play. But Cam Gunther, he was another player we talked about, identified with. He's a receiver they like to go to when they do throw it. And certainly tonight, McKay Jelinek, when he had time, he found his receiver that play, but he was running for his life at times back there.
Yeah, and he threw the ball good on the run, especially going to his left or to his right. I can't remember which way, but throwing it with his opposite hand, obviously, and making those throws. And they were right on target. And the one that the catch for the touchdown in the end zone was right in front of us, and that was just a great position by the receiver to get himself in between the defensive back and the ball. It was kind of like you're going up for one of those rebounds, and it kind of reminds us of Wampa back in week 1 with that position and going to high point that ball. And it happened here tonight again.
Yeah, it was Cam Gunther, their senior wide receiver, who had the lone touchdown reception. That was his 9th of the year, and he showed you how to do it, at least to the Dowling secondary, and that makes you better. You learn from that, and that'll be replayed on film, I'm sure, with the coaches and such.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You're sitting in the film room and you're watching it, and you're the defensive backs, and you're kind of like, oh gosh, I hope the film went out that play or or something to that fact. But no, it is a good teaching moment because it's like going up for a rebound. It's all about position and making sure that you're in a better spot as a defender to separate the ball from the receiver.
Well, John, what'd you take on your part on the sideline? We caught a lot of numbers up there, some things between the numbers that maybe we didn't see or get a chance to mention on the radio for both teams, because Linn-Mar and I'll tell you what, they they came over here ready to play. Coach Lovell got them ready in his first year, and he got them ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, Luke Gaffney was tough all night, both sides of the ball. Defensively, it was tough to run at him. You have to double-team him to get anything going there.
Wow.
I liked the running game there at the beginning of that first drive with Middleton being able to go down the field and run the ball the way Dowling was able to do, and then kind of got stagnant there. But, credit Linn-Mar's defense. They were quick up front, and they had a lot of nice backside pursuit, backside tackles. But if they're going to give up the pass, which they did, and there's a lot of man coverage, especially when Dowling went empty, you're going to take advantage of it. You
mentioned that opening drive for Dowling after Linn-Mar won the toss, deferred. Dowling took the opening kickoff, went down field 8 plays, 69 yards, and it was capped off by Dante Cataldo's 1-yard run. Yeah, and Dante is got great feet, and he's got good speed, and he's got great vision. He's a coach's son, which he knows how to read defenses and being able to hand the ball off and being able to keep it. And the last one there, in fact, we were in Skig's garage talking about certain things that they're going to do this week with Jimmy, and they talked about that play that Dante had there, about reading the linebacker and depending on what alignment that Linn-Mar was going to be in. And sure enough, they were in that alignment, and Dowling took advantage of it. It was done perfectly. The Maroons were up 24-7 at halftime, and then Linn-Mar comes out, and they score on the for the minute 46 remaining in the third quarter to cut it to 24-13, and then Cam Middleton and Dante Cataldo another touchdown tonight on the ground. But they were short field plays, Matt. 2 plays, 4 yards on Middleton's run, and then Cataldo's 16-yard run, 1 play, 16 yards. That was set up by the defense, giving the offense great field position, forcing a bad punt and punt returns. They did, and they had the 2 empty series. I believe it was 2 empty series. Start second half, and after that, then the defense and special teams took over and provided those short fields for the offense. And and they cashed it in. And part of it is too. The Dowling front line wore that Linn-Mar defense down, and the offensive line down. And I tell you, Jelnik was running for his life most of the night, and Jalen Pettis had an outstanding. All 6 of those guys up front. They had an outstanding night, and give credit. This was a well-rounded team win. We saw Jackson Smolik throw some balls that we haven't seen him throw since he's been back. He was off target on a few there for those first 2 series in the second half, but the rest of the team was just solid tonight. They certainly were. Well, Dowling advances. Again, they'll play at Southeast Polk next Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. And, Matt, before we sign off tonight, you got some scores. We should have final scores with the other pods. We know it's Dowling and Southeast Polk in Pod 1. Go to Pod 2. Cedar Rapids Kennedy had the lead there. Cedar Rapids Kennedy was up late, is 23-6. The Iowa City game, Iowa City High and Urbandale, that's in the middle of the third quarter. That got started late, so it was 34-14 was the last score I had out of that. And Valley, 31-21 is the final over Centennial. Pleasant Valley beats Cedar Falls 42-14. Cedar Rapids Prairie over Bettendorf 24-6. And Ankeny was up big on Waukee Northwest late in that game, and I'm sure it's close to final now, but it was 28-3. And so, the RPI works out, and there are no upsets tonight. We were kind of looking at that Urbandale score, thinking, or that might be a game that might flip. But in the end, 1 through 8 moves on, and we're into the second week of it. Yeah, so it's Dowling and Southeast Polk next Friday night at Southeast Polk. City High and Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Valley and Pleasant Valley, and that game will be at Valley Stadium. And Ankeny and Cedar Rapids Prairie, that game will be in Cedar Rapids' Prairie. The Prairie Hawks are ranked 4th seeded. Mentioned Valley hosting, and then City High will go to Kennedy next Friday, and Dowling will go to Southeast Polk. So that's a look at 5A pods tonight. And then after next week, when we're talking this time next week, they're going to reseed them. For the semis that go to the Unidome in Cedar Falls, they'll reseed those, and then you'll have your Final Fours in all the classes. So, well, gentlemen, appreciate it. It's hard to believe we're in the first round of the playoffs, and the temperature went from sweating up in week 8. We were sweating in the 70s, and now we're really freezing in the upper 30s and lower 40s. And the guy here can attest to that, Mr. Chido.
Well, I heard a big cheer when they said dollar pizza at the concession stand. I noticed you have a couple of pieces of crust there, so you took advantage of that.
No, I
and
did
the
not.
warmth
I
of the
did not
booth.
do that. That was out here, and they said get rid of it or they got to throw it out. So
Yeah.
I took my share, and so did Mr. Maindring.
Yep.
And did you get any down there? They were going to run. So I heard you guys had chili down there on
We had popcorn, but Reinhardt spilled it all over the track. So
that's like spilling it on carpeting.
right.
When you spill it on
was
field turf.
all excited, and he had these 2 buckets of popcorn, and he tripped and fell and spilled it all over
That's
the
good stuff.
track.
All right. Well, Mr. Maynard, we got to wrap this up. Hey, nice job at the pancake breakfast. Well
yeah,
attended.
It was good to see you too. And it was a great morning. Well attended. Hats off to our development team. You had Carolyn Kirchhoff, who's been talking pancakes. It seems like since the first day of school. I think it was the first day of school, and did an outstanding job. It was a great event, and Julie Bell, the head of that team, and it was an outstanding day. And now we look forward. We have open house a week from this Sunday.
November 7th, yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be knocking on your door. My daughter will be going through.
All right.
Yeah, we'll
That'll
be doing that.
And this is the busiest time of year for the high schools. We have so many things. We have the fall play is next week. So we have that going on, and just it's a little bit of everything.
Mr. Chido, since you've had a few kids go through Dowling, can you give me a tip about what to see on the tour when I get that on open house day, or is there something I should check off or make sure I don't miss? Can you help me out?
Well, you're there more than anybody. So when I first walked through the tour, I remember when Sophie was a freshman.
Right.
It was the first time I was actually somewhere besides the gymnasium or the football field, and just amazed of the construction that was done with the classrooms and the new additions. That was the first time I actually been there since I graduated, and you wouldn't recognize it.
Besides to the athletic facilities,
right?
Of course,
correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's fantastic.
And that looks the same down there. We redid the entry a little bit, dressed it up a little bit, but that south end is still the way it was, in 72. And but that north end, we get a lot of alumni. I mean, if you've had you're an alumni and you've had a kid that's coming up in the 8th grade and you haven't been in the building since you graduated, we encourage you to stop and look around and see what we've got. Our outstanding faculty, second to none in the state, and they just do a heck of a job. And it's all about building relationships with kids. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been able to be in a lot of classrooms, and it's just it's a joy to be in there and see the professionals doing the work. And you can't replicate or make everybody. You have to feel it and see it once you get inside there. But it's a good feeling.
I was questioned who you were hanging out with yesterday, Mr. Mannion, when I was there talking with Coach Marr. You were hanging out with Marty Flaherty, the Holy Family principal, and I looked, and his daughter goes to Holy Trinity with my daughter, and I saw it, and I said, you guys are up to something. And you were. You don't have to say it on the radio, but I knew something was up. So
Marty's innocent. He's always
innocent.
Yeah.
He plays the role very well.
Yeah, I know.
But what an outstanding administrator, and the job he does over at Holy Family over there by Visitation Church. So, all right. Well, that's a wrap tonight. We'll see you next Friday night. May have to get into the layer. Turtlenecks maybe have to be broke out. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you.
It's going to be a real exciting game. So
Notice
this,
Mr. Maindring. This is
I noticed that,
but it's too light. I think.
If you hang out with Jimmy Cataldo, he always runs into Steve Smith over at Smith Promotions, and he always has these things that nice items that he's selling.
Smitty's got
trunk
things
of
all
his
the
car.
time, doesn't he?
Trunk of his car. Wait a second.
Hats, sweatshirts.
I didn't see that on the
jackets.
sponsor list. Where did that come from? Wait a second. That's not. You can't say that. And I know Smitty's retired, but you just can't say that.
It's a nice jacket.
It is. It looks nice, but might be a little too cool.
Yeah.
Not working tonight. All right, guys. We'll see you next Friday night. Thank you, Matt
Sounds
Maindring.
good.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Mark.
And that'll be a wrap for tonight from Williams Stadium in Des Moines. Our thanks to Jeff Pickett, our studio producer. And his Kennedy Cougars won, so Jeff's an alumni there, so he won, and he'll be.
If we ever run into Kennedy, can he do that game from the studio?
I don't know. He won't be objective like we are. We'll see how that runs. All right. Our thanks to folks from Linn-Mar of Marion, including their athletic director, and that'd be David Brown, Tanya Moe, the assistant athletic director, and Tim Lovell, the outstanding head coach there at Linn-Mar. Great job. They finished the season with a record of 7-3. Dowling moves on with a record of 7-3, and that'll be our next broadcast next Friday night, as we'll be at Southeast Polk High School. Friday, November 5th, that'll be the 5A quarterfinals, and we'll have it here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Pregame 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock for Southeast Polk High School next Friday night. For Matt Maindring, for John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale, and for our studio producer again, Jeff Piggott, wishing everyone a safe and blessed, faith-filled weekend from all of us here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Again, the final score, it was Dowling Catholic 38, Linn-Mar of Marion 13. Until next time, have a great week.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formalware, Bozen the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.